disability, and we need to realign and the laws that are there so that the people with disability are accorded the rights and privileges that they must have. It is a motion that is being sponsored by the National Council of Persons with Disabilities, and Parliament, we are keen to ensure that we have the right regulations and laws that protect people with disability. So that is one of the first things that we're going to deal with in this fourth session. So the people living with disabilities now must realize that Parliament is on their side. Secondly, one of the things that we have, when a bill comes into to Parliament and National Assembly and Senate differ, then there has to be mediation. So one of the things that we're going to do, one key motion that is coming up is the Gambling Control Bill. It's a National Assembly bill, but we have now a mediated version that is coming up. So that's another, the gambling, there's been a lot of issues in gambling in this country, and therefore this is a bill that has emanated from the National Assembly. But when it went to Senate, because of the function of gambling is in the county government, and because of that, then we have a mediated version that is coming to the National Assembly. So that is one of priority businesses that we have. Then we have a report on decentralized funds accounts committee that are bringing in their reports on National Government Constituency Development Fund, and it's for 6 counties in for the 6 constituencies in Busia. So you see the reports that come in these days on National Government Constituency Development Fund, they come in counties. So it is one of the motions. So we're going to discuss the report of Teso South, Matayos, Nambale, Funyula, Teso North, and Butula constituencies. This is a report that will be tabled. And then we know also Parliament ratifies agreements between countries. And one of the key that is coming at this report is a ratification of an agreement between the government of the Republic of Kenya and the Republic of Singapore, basically on the elimination of double taxation with respect to taxes on income and on the prevention of tax evasion and avoidance between the government of Kenya and Singapore. So that's one of the key motions. Then lastly is also a ratification of an agreement on the Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement between the Republic of Kenya and the United Arab Emirates. I think we have seen a lot of collaboration between the United Arab Emirates and Kenya. But then this needs to be ratified through by Parliament. So this agreement is coming to Parliament for ratification. So that's some of the key areas. But we also have bills that are being given priority. So we have 2 bills first. There are 2 bills that were referred to the House by the President. You see, if we pass a law in this country and that law goes for assent, and the President still has certain reservations on some of the clauses that have been passed, then he writes back to Parliament to say that he would like this change, would like this change, would like this change, so that it aligns to other laws that are already existing, or to align to the thought of the government. And therefore, there are 2 bills that were sent to the President: the Cancer Prevention and Control Amendment Bill, number 45 of the National Assembly, 2022, and the National Land Commission Amendment Bill of the National Assembly Bill number 43, which is actually my bill. Okay. This is actually my bill. So I think the President, looking at it, and also collaboration with the Attorney General's office and other the Kenyan law reform, when they looked at it, probably they found that there are certain aspects. So these bills have been referred back through a memorandum from the President. Okay. Now, sometimes this bill, Marco, they are very interesting, because you must gather 2/3 for you to reject the President's amendment. So if you don't gather 2/3, then the President amendments sail through. Okay. They sail through. And I don't see us gathering 2/3 to oppose the President's reservations. And therefore, because of that, it's as good as passed. His amendments are as good as passed. So these 2 bills will come. They are priority bills. And then, apart from these 2 bills, there are certain bills that are waiting consideration, and they're very important. The Virtual Asset Service Providers Bill, I think it has been on the cards for some time now, but we didn't get time to analyze them in the 4th session. Okay,
and briefly, if you can explain the Virtual Asset Service Providers. What does it mean?
The Virtual Asset Service Provider, you see, there are people like Facebook, there are people like Google, There are people like the people who
internet,
that platform. We do not have a law. Those are assets that are available. We don't have a law that anchors them, especially in the Kenyan space. They just operate. But we need a law that anchors them within the Kenyan space, that it should be operating within this environment, and therefore we have this virtual asset service providers bill, which is actually more of a universal law in the world, but we need to anchor it as a country, and that is why it is coming in the fourth session. And then we have the Disaster National Risk Management Bill, a very key bill that is coming up that requires a lot of amendment. We passed it in the 12th Parliament, this bill, but I think it requires certain amendments, and therefore those amendments will come this time. So this bill is actually sponsored by the Leader of Majority, and it's trying to provide a legal framework for the coordination of disaster on risk management activities at both county and the national government. Okay. Actually, that is what it is about. And then the House is also expected to consider amendments which were made by Senate. The Senate looked at this bill, and Senate has stakeholders because of the counties, and therefore they're trying to bring in certain changes that affect the counties, and therefore this is a very important amendment. We suffer disaster a lot in this country, and when those disasters strike, what framework does a county government have to operate, to even appropriate funds, even within the shortest time, and all that? So this bill actually tries to do that. And these are amendments that are coming from the Senate. They are coming to the National Assembly. We will look at them. If we do not agree, we'll go for mediation. Okay. If we go to mediation, it falls. But I'm sure we will agree, because it's an important piece of legislation that is coming up. Then another important bill that is coming up is the Equalization Fund Appropriation Bill, National Assembly Bill number 21 of 2025. The Equalization Fund has had hitches here and there. I hope and believe that this country...
There are some constituencies and counties that claim to deserve, and they don't.
Yes. Actually, what happened is, there are only 13 counties that are supposed to be part of the Equalization Bill. But then, Commission for Revenue Allocation empaneled more, counties. Divided it. Now I think around 30-something counties are part of the Equalization Bill, which at a personal level I disagree. But at government level we need to push it that way, because it is law that was passed. So what CRA did was to come down to say that we look at locations, not counties.
Locations.
We look at locations in the nation that have been underfunded, they've been underserved, and therefore they looked at all locations, mapped all locations, and then put money in every location. Okay. In my constituency, for example, I have one location called Uyombo, and it's been mapped as one of those that will benefit from Equalization Fund. But people, there are divergent voices in the House that are saying, no, it should not be like that. But what is most important about equalization, and which we must all agree, is the administration of that fund. That is where the problem is. I have an amendment myself, by the way. I am one of the proposers of the amendments on this one, at a personal level as MP for Kilifi North. This fund has not been very effective, because some of the money goes to the county government. Some of the money goes to ministries to implement. Now, ministries sometimes do not have money to do their other projects, so they take the Equalization Fund money to do other projects, and they do not do the Equalization Fund project, because there is no body that oversights the utilization of this money. Unlike NGCDF, where is the NGCDF board? So I have proposed myself in this amendment that we have an Equalization Fund board that follows up the implementation of this project, whether by ministry or by county governments. You understand? But they have put the structure that is there is, the county commissioner will now be the one chairing for both for the county and the national government. But if the money comes into the county kitty, and I am the governor of the county, I'll do whatever I want. I don't have to talk to the county commissioner, because I have absolute authority. But what we want to see, because this time, we have put the equalization fund in the budget for this financial year, but we have also put in the arrears for the many other years, I think amounting to around 13 billion. So there's a lot of money.
Okay.
But we want to see the projects transforming those areas that have been underfunded for many years. But we have not seen it because of the modus operandi, the way that it is being executed.
Okay.
And it is being executed by many people. Like the county government, to say they are going to deal with a program in health, So if you give them the money, they will put it in their programs, and nobody will know that is an equalization fund project.
What were the factors that were considered to qualify a county for the equalization fund?
You see, the equalization fund is as a constitutional fund. It is there in the constitution.
Okay.
But initially, when it was being implemented, the functions: education, water, and I think roads, and there are four roads. I can't remember the other one. The four functions in the constitution. So counties came and said, no, but roads are partly national government, partly
county.
Okay. When you talk about water, it is actually purely county. So they went to court and they got an interpretation from the Supreme Court, and the judgment came and said, no, this money must be shared between national government and county government. So that was the first thing that came out. Now, when it came to now, so who gets the money? Other people. And CRA itself, Commission for Revenue Allocation, said, you may think Nairobi does not deserve, but certain parts of Nairobi also deserve because they have been underfunded. So now, then they said, even in Kiambu, which was not part of the 13 counties, there are certain pockets in Kiambu that were underfunded.
Okay.
You get. So because of that, then, now people started saying, okay, this. Then they said, so who accounts for the money? They said National Treasury. So the money was actually domiciled at National Treasury. So when it was domiciled at National Treasury would not disburse the money, or they would not disburse the funds, because they would put it at the last thing, because they are under pressure to disbursement for NGCDF, for counties, for ministries, for all this. Then they say this: if we don't collect enough money, the fund that first suffers is the equalization fund, and that is where the problem started. Now we are saying put the money in ministries, but ministries have their own priorities. So this is a very important bill that needs to unlock this funding so that it is used. Then there are three bills that are very important. Three bills: the county allocation of revenue bill, which we must do, so that we allocate the funds for the next financial year for counties. And then the County Assembly Services Board. The County Assembly have County Assembly Services Boards, but there is no law. So we are putting the County Assembly Services Board so that it can create the services boards and they're anchored properly in law. And then the County Assembly's pension scheme. Those are three other bills that affect counties. They're coming from the Senate. These we must discuss. And then another very important, because elections is about, and the ABC has been put in place, then the Elections Offences Amendment Bill, which is a Senate bill that is coming in, it's on election offences. So this is a very important bill that is coming up. Actually, it is from the NATCO report. So this bill will come, we will discuss it, so that also this one came because of what happened in 2022. Elections, and therefore we have this that we must discuss. And then we have amendments in the Kenya Roads Board. We passed another amendment, and this is another amendment that we must pass. And then the Kenya Institute of Primate Research. There's a lot of primate research in this country that goes on, but there's no law that anchors it. And then there's the Institute of Social Work Professionals Bill. This has been on the cards since 2023. It's been there. I remember even me, I tried to push this bill, but somehow it got stuck on the way. And lastly, we have the Cabinet Secretary for Roads coming up tomorrow to come and answer several questions by members. So basically, that is our week. This is going to be a very busy session, but I want to ask members to make themselves available, because they're very important bills that we must consider in this session. And then we also have a host of other private members' bills. That I have like 5 bills myself that I'm bringing to private members, and many other members are bringing. And we have motions. The Wednesday morning motions that are coming up. So it's going to be busy. And I ask all members to be available to debate and to present and oversight and legislate for their members.
Thank you very much, Mheshimiwa. Thank you so much. We appreciate your time. That has been the Deputy Majority Leader in the National Assembly, Honorable Owen Baya, who is also a Member of Parliament for Kilifi North. He has been highlighting for us the business ahead as the National Assembly resumes from a short recess. My name is Tilio Marco. Thank you for watching. Next week on Tuesday, we'll meet right here for another round of discussion like this one. Thank you so much.
Okay. Asante.
Well, that was the Deputy Leader of the Majority Party, also the member for Kilifi North Constituency, Honorable Owen Baya, giving a brief on the business that is expected to be transacted before the National Assembly for the remainder of the second part of the fourth session. Well, it's just about a minute to 2:30. That is the time allocated for the National Assembly afternoon sitting on this 22nd day, the month of July, the year 2025. This is a broadcast that is streaming live from the National Assembly chambers, a broadcast that is brought to you by the Parliamentary Broadcasting Unit in partnership with the Kenya Broadcasting Corporation. Now, this afternoon marks the first sitting of the remainder of the second part of the fourth session after the National Assembly members had proceeded on a short recess, and this afternoon they are resuming from that particular short recess. A full entry for the business that is to be transacted this particular period. The members have a full entry of the business that is to be transacted this afternoon, from key bills, priority motions that are to be considered. And in the order of business this afternoon, the members will be resuming the consideration of a motion regarding the performance audit report on the provision of services to persons with disabilities. By the National Council for the Persons with Disabilities. Now, this is a motion that is moved by the Chairperson Public Investments Committee on Social Services, Administration and Agriculture. The Public Investments Committee, you will understand that it's one of the watchdog committees at the National Assembly in the 13th Parliament that examines reports of the Auditor General that are laid before the National Assembly to ensure efficiency and effectiveness in the use of public resources. What you're seeing on your screens right now, that is the Speaker of the National Assembly, Honorable Dr. Moses Wetangula, making his way into the chamber to preside over this afternoon sitting. As members resume, allow me to hand you over to this live broadcast. My name is Kamche Menza.
Mheshimiwa, tuombe. Ewe Mwenyezi Mungu ambaye kwa hekima na wema wako umetoa nyadhifa za viongozi na mabunge kwa ustawi wa jamii na utawala wa haki wa wanadamu, tukusihi utazame kwa neema nyingi sisi watumishi wako ambao wameridhika kutuita ili tutekeleze shughuli muhimu za jamhuri yetu. Tutakuomba uteremshie baraka zako sisi tulikutanika hapa, na utujalie tuyatende na kufikiria mambo yote yatakayofikisha mbele yetu kwa njia ya haki na uaminifu, ili utukufu na sifa zako ziendelezwe, na ili kustawisha amani, ufanisi na heri ya nchi yetu na wale ambao haja zao umezikabidhi mikononi mwetu. Amen. Sergeant, ring the quorum bell.
Well, the prayer has been said and the chair taken. However, the House is currently facing a quorum hitch. That is the commencement of the sitting of the House. This is as provided for in the House Standing Order number 34, paragraph 1. At least 50 members of the National Assembly should be present, seated in the chamber. After the prayer is said and the chair taken, and that will mean that the House has attained its quorum for the business to commence. However, if that number is not present, then the quorum bell has to be rung. Of course, this is to alert the members of the National Assembly who may be within the precincts of Parliament and yet to make their way into the chambers, at least to hasten their steps and join their colleagues in the chambers for the business to be able to commence. So, talking about the business, we shall go back into taking a look at what the order of business highlights for the members to transact. All right, the quorum has.
Order number 1, administration of oath. Order number 2, communication from the chair.
Members on their feet, take your seats. Honorable Kainan and majority, take your seats. Honorable members, of a short communication on the appointment of members to the Mediation Committee on the Coffee Bill, Senate Bill number 10 of 2023. Honorable members, I wish to welcome you back to the House. From the just concluded short recess, I believe you are now geared up to embark on the legislative business of the House as we enter into the second half of the fourth session. You will recall that on 27th November 2024, honorable members, This House considered and passed the Coffee Bill, Senate Bill number 10 of 2023 with amendments. Thereafter, I referred the bill to the Senate for reconsideration in accordance with the provisions of Article 112(1)(b) of the Constitution. Further, honorable members, you may recall that on Wednesday, 4th June 2025, I reported to this House a message from the Senate conveying that on Tuesday, 20th May 2025, the Senate considered and rejected the National Assembly's amendments to the Coffee Bill, Senate Bill number 10 of 2023. The decision of the Senate remitted the bill to a mediation committee pursuant to Article 1122(b) of the Constitution. Honorable members, Article 113 of the Constitution requires that whenever a bill is referred to a mediation, the Speakers of the Houses of Parliament each appoint an equal number of members from both houses to attempt to develop a version of the bill for consideration. In this regard, honorable members, having consulted with the leader of the majority party and the other members, I've always reminded you, and your standing order says so, when the speaker is on his or her feet, you maintain studious silence. Studious silence. In this regard, honorable members, having consulted with the leader of the majority party and the leader of the minority party, I have appointed the following members to represent the National Assembly in the Mediation Committee to consider the said bill: the Honorable Dr. John Mutunga, CBS MP, the Honorable John Okwisia Makali MP, the Honorable Robert Gichimu Githinji MP, the Honorable Duncan Mathenge Maina MP, the Honorable Julius Kibiwot Meli MP, the Honorable Yusuf Farah Mohammed MP, the Honorable Geoffrey Makoha Okanga MP, the Honorable Doris Donya Aburi MP, and the Honorable Jared Odoyo Okello MP. Honorable members, you may further recall that on 4th June 2025, I reported to this House that the Senate had appointed 9 senators to the committee on the bill. In this regard, the mediation committee is now fully constituted. I therefore urge the members of this House to reach out to their Senate counterparts for purposes of commencing the mediation process. The mediation committee should, as soon as is practicable, meet and commence the process of developing a version of the bill for consideration by the Houses of Parliament in accordance with the provisions of Article 113 of the Constitution. I thank you.
Order number 3, messages.
Members on their feet, take your seats. Take the nearest seat. Thank you, honorable members. I've got 2 short messages. The first message is from the Senate on the approval of the mediated version of the Division of Revenue Bill, National Assembly Bill number 10 of 2025. Honorable members, pursuant to the provision of Standing Order 41-4, I wish to report to the House that during the recess period, I received a message from the Senate regarding the approval of the mediated version of the Division of Revenue National Assembly Bill number 10 of 2025. The message conveys that on Monday, 30th June 2025, in accordance with the provisions of Article 113(2) of the Constitution, the Senate considered and approved the mediated version of the Division of Revenue Bill, National Assembly Bill number 10 of 2025 in the form developed and agreed by the Mediation Committee. Honorable members, you'll also recall that the bill was committed to a mediation committee pursuant to Article 112(2)(b) of the Constitution, following the National Assembly's rejection of Senate amendments to the bill on Tuesday, 3rd June 2025. Consequent to this, the House considered the report of the mediation committee and approved the mediated version of the bill on Thursday, 19th June 2025 in the form developed by the mediation committee. Honorable members, the approval of the mediated version of the Division of Revenue Bill 2025 by both Houses of Parliament concluded its bicameral consideration in this regard, and in accordance with the provisions of Article 113(3) of the Constitution, I did present the bill to His Excellency the President for assent, and the bill was subsequently assented to and is now an act of Parliament. The House is accordingly guided. Members at the bar, take the nearest seats. The nearest seats. Bowen, is English alien to you? The nearest to the Speaker. Honorable members, the second message is a message from His Excellency the President, a referral by the President of the Pensions Amendment Bill 2022. Honorable members, you may recall on 7th August 2022, the National Assembly passed the Pensions Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 44 of 2022, which was sponsored by the member for Kimilili, the Honorable Didimas Barasa MP. The bill sought to amend the Pensions Act, Cap 189, to provide for timelines within which pension was payable to an officer. Following its passage, I presented the bill for assent to His Excellency the President in accordance with the provisions of Article 115 of the Constitution. Honorable members, I wish to convey to the House that I have since received a message from His Excellency the President referring the bill back to the House for reconsideration in accordance with the provisions of Article 115 of the Constitution. In the memorandum, His Excellency the President has expressed reservations on Clause 2 and 3 of the bill and notes inter alia that on Clause 2 of the bill, the proposed amendment which seeks to give the Cabinet Secretary responsible for matters relating to finance powers to make regulations will create an inconsistency with Section 3(2) of the Pensions Act, which provides that the pensions regulations may be amended by regulations made by the President. As such, granting powers to the Cabinet Secretary would create conflict in the implementation of such regulations. And 2, that on Clause 3 of the bill, the clause is ambiguous as it does not provide with specificity the date for which pension shall become due. The President notes that the bill lacks clarity on whether the due date is the retirement date or the date on which a retired person makes an application for payment of pension. Further, the President notes that the objects sought to be achieved by the bill can be realized through administrative action by streamlining the pension processes to ensure the timely payment of pension to retired persons. In his reservations, His Excellency the President observes that the bill fails to take cognizance of the recent automation of the pensions process, which has reduced timelines for processing pensions. Consequently, the President recommends deletion of Clause 2 and 3 of the bill, which, as a matter of fact, are the primary content of the bill. Honorable members, Standing Order 154.2 requires the House to consider the President's reservations within 21 days upon receipt of a memorandum. In this regard, the memorandum from the President now stands committed to the Departmental Committee on Finance and National Planning for consideration. The committee is required to table its report soonest to allow the House to consider the President's reservations within the said timelines. Honorable members, may I at this point remind the House of the Speaker's communication of 28th July 2015 concerning the consideration of the President's reservations to a bill and amendments thereto. I particularly draw your attention to the guidance that the voting threshold for the passage of amendments proposed by a committee or an individual member that have the effect of fully accommodating the President's reservations is a simple majority, as contemplated under Article 1221 of the Constitution, as read together with 1115(2)(a). On the other hand, an amendment that does not fully accommodate the President's reservations or indeed one that has the effect of a total override of the President's reservations, including negating his proposed text, would require a 2/3 voting threshold to be passed in keeping with the provisions of Article 115(4) of the Constitution. In conclusion, honourable members, I hereby direct the clerk to circulate the memorandum from His Excellency the President to all members so that they can familiarize themselves with its contents, and the House is accordingly informed. Thank you.
Next. Order number 4, petitions. Order number 5, papers.
Majority Leader.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Speaker, allow me to welcome members back from the short working recess that they've had, and hopefully they are now better energized to carry on with the next 4 weeks that the House will be sitting, and we have a lot of important business to transact within those 4 weeks. Allow me, Honourable Speaker, to lay the following papers on the table of the House today, Tuesday, July 22nd, 2025. 1. Legal notice number 79 of 2025 relating to the National Museum and Heritage Admission Fees Regulations of 2025 and the explanatory memorandum from the Ministry of Gender, Culture and Children's Services. 2. Legal notice number 94 of 2025 relating to the Kenya National Qualifications Framework General Regulations of 2025 and the explanatory memorandum from Ministry of Education. 3. The following legal notices from the Ministry of Energy and Petroleum. 1. Legal notice number 95 of 2025 relating to the Petroleum Business Licensing and Petroleum Logistics Facility Construction Permit Regulations of 2025. 2 is legal notice number 96 of 2025 relating to the Petroleum Licensing of Petroleum Road Transportation Business Regulations of 2025. 3. Legal notice number 97 of 2025 relating to the Petroleum Operation of Common User Petroleum Facilities Regulations of 2025. 4 is legal notice number 98 of 2025 relating to the Petroleum Information and Statistics Regulations of 2025. 5 is legal notice number 99 of 2025 relating to the Petroleum Lubricants Facility Construction and Business Licensing Regulations. 6 is legal notice number 98 of 2025 on the Petroleum Information and Statistics Regulations of 2025. Next is legal notice number 100 of 2025 relating to the Petroleum Retail Dispensing Site Construction and Licensing Regulations 2025. 7 is legal notice number 101 of 2025 relating to the Petroleum LPG Gas Regulations of 2025. Next is legal notice number 102 of 2025 relating to the Energy, Petroleum Information and Statistics Revocation Regulations of 2025. 9, legal notice number 103 of 2025 relating to the Energy, Retail Facility Construction and Licensing Regulations of 2025. And legal notice number 104 of 2025 relating to Petroleum Products Quality Management Regulations of 2025. 4, Honourable Speaker, is legal notice number 106 of 2025 relating to the Public Finance Management, Sports, Arts and Social Development Fund Amendment Regulations of 2025 from the National Treasury and Economic Planning. 5 is legal notice number 113 of 2025 relating to the Sugar Development Levy Order 2025 Regulatory Impact Assessment Report, Explanatory Memorandum, Stakeholders' Comments and Submission, and Certificates of Compliance from the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock Development. 6 is legal notice number 114 of 2025 relating to the Affordable Housing Regulations of 2025 from the Ministry of Lands, Public Works, Housing and Urban Development, and the following accompanying documents. 1, the published regulations. 2, notice for public participation. 3, notice for the regulatory impact assessment. 4, regulatory impact assessment. 5, photos. 6, public participation attendance list. 7, the matrix on the comments received from the public participation process. 8, the explanatory memorandum. And 9, the certificate of compliance. 7, Honourable Speaker, is the Draft Salaries and Remuneration Commission, Remuneration and Benefits of State and Public Officers Regulations of 2025 from SRC Commission. And 8, the submission of nominees for the National Government Constituency Development Fund committees for the following 5 constituencies: Isiolo South, Lungalunga, Kuria West, Homa Bay Town, and Kitui South. Lastly, Honorable Speaker, is reports of the Auditor General and financial statements for the year ended 30th June 2024 and the certificates therein in respect of 1. Kenya Post Office Savings Bank, 2. Kenya National Assurance Company, 2001 Limited, and 3. The Kenya Institute of Supplies Management. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Majority Leader. Chairperson, Departmental Committee on Regional Development. Yes, Honorable Melemba.
Honorable Speaker, I just seek for your indulgence on the issue of the presidential memorandum, because the members may not be aware of the bill that you did take to the president, the one that was sponsored by Baraza. That bill was supposed to give a timeline for the time to pay pensions to the pensioner. And I think the proposal was that 90 days, the time the person has retired, he should be able to get the pension. What is currently obtaining is that teachers, civil servants, and other workers take too long to get pension. Some of them do die.
Honorable Milemba, haven't we passed that order? I would advise that you have a very important point, prosecute it before the committee or marshal 2/3 of the House to vote when it comes.
To moderate it, yes. Because we can get a 50-50 out of the entire bill so that nobody loses. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Yes.
I'll be appearing before the committee.
Go and prosecute before the committee. Chairperson, Departmental Committee on Regional Development, Lochakapong.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the House today, Tuesday, 22nd July 2025. Report of the Departmental Committee on Regional Development on its consideration of the Senate amendments to the National Disaster Risk Management Bill, National Assembly Bill number 24 of 2023. I thank you.
Chairperson, Departmental Committee on Lands.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the House today, Tuesday, 22nd July 2025. Report of the Departmental Committee on Lands on its consideration of the President's memorandum to the National Land Commission Amendment Bill, National Bill number 43 of 2023. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Honorable members, before the next order, allow me to acknowledge in the Speaker's Gallery, Kianjata High School from Oljolorok, Nyandarua, Kituro JSS from Baringo Central, Baringo, and in the public gallery, a Journey to Africa group from the United States of America. You should have a good habit of welcoming visitors. We have Borabu Retired Head Teachers Association from Borabu, Nyamira, and Kipchoi Shokino JSS from Mosop, Nandi. On my behalf and on behalf of the whole House, we welcome the visitors to the House of Parliament for the proceedings of this afternoon. Honorable Osero from Borabu, you've asked me to give you a minute to welcome your retired teachers.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Somebody is saying those are my age mates. Yeah, those are my age mates. I wish to welcome Borabu retired teachers. These are teachers who've come together in retirement and enjoy life and see the products of their students as may be. These teachers, Mr. Speaker, I remember when I don't know whether I was in Singapore or one of those East Asia countries. A teacher there is called by the name Leader of the Nation. I think Komboko Milemba you can support. Leader of the Nation. That is what a teacher is. And we are proud to have them here. Feel welcome. And as you travel home, travel with journey masses. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Osero. Next order.
Order number 6, notices of motion. Order number 7, questions and statements.
Honorable members, I have 7 listed statements, 2 requests, 5 responses. Question number 1, statement number 1, Mashua Waithaka, member for Kiambu.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44-2C, I wish to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Labor regarding insurance compensation to the family of the late PC Patrick Gishuru Ryungu. Honorable Speaker, the late Mr. Patrick Gishuru Ryungu, who was a prisons officer of staff number PF 20060-72940/33782, lost his life through a tragic road accident along the Kiambu-Nairobi Highway on 21st August 2021. He was survived by his spouse, Ms. Charity Mlongo Zuma, and their 3 children. Following his demise, the family lodged a compensation claim in accordance with the Works Injury Benefits Act Cap 236 under reference ML/WIBA/DC/02/2021. On 2nd August 2022, the Ministry of Labor and Social Protection approved the said compensation, but to date, the family is yet to receive the money. The inordinate delay has negatively affected the livelihood of the family of the late PC Gishuru, given that the family depended on the deceased for upkeep. Honorable Speaker, it's against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Labor on the following. 1, the status of compensation to the family of the late PC Patrick Gishuru Ryungu, a prisons officer, staff number PF 20060-72940/33782, which was launched through claim reference ML/WIBA/DCI/02/2021. 2, the timeline within which the government intends to conclude the process of disbursement of the said compensation to the family of the late PC Patrick Gishuru. And 3, a detailed report on the similar insurance claims, pending payment, and the measures that the government is taking to offset the claims as soon as they are lodged. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Waithaka. Chair Labor and Social Protection, Alice Nganga. Majority Leader, inform the Chair's Labor and Social Protection to bring a response in 2 weeks. Honorable Wandeto Geoffrey from Tetu. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 442C, I wish to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Labor regarding payment of salaries, terminal dues, and other benefits to former employees of Nyayo T-zones. Honorable Speaker, in 1992, the Nyayo T-zones, which was established under the Office of the President with the aim of promoting rural development through tea farming, transition to Nyayo T-Zones Corporation. Consequently, approximately 702 laborers who worked for the defunct Nyayo T-Zones between 1986 and 1996 in the then Tetu district were not compensated for their labor despite numerous follow-up. The then Member of Parliament for Tetu constituency, the Honorable F.T. Nyamo, raised the matter on 15th June 2011 during the 10th Parliament through ordinary question number 919. Honorable Speaker, following unsatisfactory response, the Departmental Committee on Labor and Social Welfare undertook an inquiry on the matter in the year 2016. The committee found out that the Ministry of Internal Security, which managed the Nyayo T-Zones, did not transfer employment records to the Nyayo T-Zones Development Corporation, the successor entity, leading to protracted disputes as to whether the dues were to be paid by the Office of the President or the Nyayo T-Zones Corporation. Notably, the committee recommended that all the 702 former employees of the Nyayo T-Zones Corporation who worked in the then Tetu district be paid their salaries, terminal dues, and other benefits by the Office of the President. Regrettably, Honorable Speaker, the affected employees are yet to be paid. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Labor on the following. A1, a report on the progress made on the settlement of salaries, terminal dues, and other benefits owed to the 702 employees of the Nyayo T-Zones who worked in the then Tetu district. 2, steps being taken by the Office of the President to ensure that the former employees receive their dues and the timeline for implementation of the steps. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Wandeto. Labour, Majority Leader, inform the Chair Labour once again to bring the response to Honorable Wandeto and the House in 2 weeks. Responses to statements. Chair, Administration and Internal Security. Yes, Ngeleche.
I'm Brigitte on its behalf, Chair.
You are a member of which chair are you addressing?
Administration and Internal Security.
Okay. Is Michael Mushira Oljorok in the House? Yes, go ahead.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. This is the statement regarding the disappearance of identity cards from the National Registration Bureau office in Nyandarua West, Oljorok constituency. Honorable Chair, the Member of Parliament for Oljorok constituency, Honorable Michael Mushira, has requested to be appraised of the reported disappearance of ID cards and related documents from the NRB office in Nyandarua West, Oljorok constituency. The Honorable Member particularly sought to be informed on A, the circumstance leading to the loss of the over 2,000 national identity cards and the collection register from the National Registration Office. The status of investigations and finding under the OB number 08-29-5-2025, measures to mitigate the risk of illegal use of the missing identity cards and steps being taken to replace the ID cards free of charge and without delay. I state as follows. The circumstances leading to the loss of over 2,000 national identity cards and the collection register from the NRB office, Honorable Chair, on the morning of 29th May 2025, officers reporting to work at the NRB office in Oljorok discovered that the office had been broken into, although there were no signs of forced entry. Preliminary investigation confirmed the loss of several crucial documents and items, a total of 984 ID cards comprising of 237 second generation IDs and 747 Maisha cards. Issuing workbook 134A register, which records the issuance of forms to applicants for signatures by chiefs and assistant chiefs. collection register where details of collected IDs cards are looked. Duplicate register where all applicants for replacement ID cards are recorded. 5. One unused registration form 136C, serial number 256616430, which carry the application's biography and biometric data. A digital camera, serial number 630-192004857. And 8, an electrical extension cable and a header. The incident severely disrupted operations and raised significant concerns about the potential misuse of the missing items. On the status of investigation and finding under the OB number 08/29/5/2025, Honorable Chair, the matter was officially reported at 9:10 hours.
Order, Ngaleche, address the speaker, not the chair. I don't know which chair you are addressing.
Noted, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the matter was formally reported at 9:10 hours on 29th May 2025 at Oljororok Police Station by OB number 082905-2025. The DCI Nyandarua West Sub-County has taken up the case. Investigative actions taken include recording statement from all the officers stationed at Oljororok National Registration Bureau Office, seizure and examination of office keys.
Order. Yes, Honorable Zamzam. What's the point of order? Hold.
Mheshimiwa Spika, Mheshimiwa Ngeleche anazungumza mambo mazuri sana, lakini anazibwa hapa. Hata kuna mazungumzo yanaendelea, Mheshimiwa Spika. Kwa hiyo mimi naomba apewe nafasi aweze kutoa mambo yake kwa nafasi nzuri. Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika.
Thank you. The culprit has fled. Go on, Ngeleche.
Asante Mheshimiwa Samsam. I was really straining. I was reading on the status, I was responding on the status of the investigation and finding under OB 829/5/2025. And Honorable Speaker, the recording statement from all the officers stationed at Oljororok NRB has been taken. Seizure of examination of office keys and the office mobile phones. These items have since been returned. As such was also conducted at the residence of the officers who last secured the office on the evening prior to the break-in. A normal operation have resumed at the registration office pending the conclusion of the investigation. Measures, response number C, measures to mitigating the risk of illegal use of missing ID cards. Honorable Speaker, to safeguard public interest and national security, the Nyandarua West National Registration Bureau Office has instituted a register to record all reports made by the affected applicants. For each case, the serial number of the missing ID card, the applicant's name, and the type of the applications are captured. This information is forwarded to NRB headquarters to prompt action, including blacklisting of the affected ID serial numbers. Further, Honorable Speaker, there is an ongoing public outreach exercise led by the Deputy Commissioner in collaboration with the Registrar, urging all the affected individuals to report to the office. These sensitization efforts are being conducted through public barazas and other local platforms. Response number D, Honorable Speaker, the steps being taken to replace the ID cards free of charge and without delay. Honorable Speaker, the NRB headquarters has put in place measures to fast track the replacement of the lost identity cards at no cost to the affected individuals. Applicants are being assisted to reapply through the Nyandarua West Registration Office, which submits their applications accompanied by cover letters directly to the NRB headquarters to expedite the process. Honorable Speaker, I submit. This is a statement by Honorable CS for Cabinet for Interior and National Security. Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Sorry.
Thank you, Honorable Mushira. Order, members. The conversations are too loud. Will every member on their feet take seats? Order. Members on their feet, take your seats. You are causing a lot of disorder in the House. Yes, Honorable Mushira.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm contented with the statement, and indeed I can confirm that the replacement of the lost IDs is happening at no cost to the beneficiary. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Next, Defense, Intelligence and Foreign Relations. Where's the chair? Is anybody from that committee available to make a response to Honorable Mashua Waithaka? Yes, Kandia, you are a member of the committee?
Yes, Honorable Speaker.
You have a response?
No, Honorable Speaker. I don't have any response, but I will convey the message to the chairman.
There is nothing to convey. Today was a response day. So you are not going to convey anything.
Okay, let me look for the chairman immediately.
You better do that, yes. Honorable Waithaka, you hold in case he comes in. Give Honorable Waithaka the mic.
Yes. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I would like to say that you asked that we get a response when we came back from recess, which is today. I'd like to report, Mr. Speaker, that the family is in great distress. And I was thinking that because the person who disappeared in the United States of America, we were hoping that since the United States has a very good system of monitoring people, that by now we'd have gotten a response. So, Mr. Speaker, I would urge that we get a response in the shortest possible time so that the family can know the fate of their father.
Thank you, Honorable Waithaka. Kandie, inform your chairperson that this response will be released tomorrow morning. Make sure he's here to give a response. Response to Ekwam Nabwin, Turkana North. Is Nabwin in the house? Is Nabwin in the house? He's not. Committee chair. This one, the committee chair is not there. The questioner is not there. So we leave it in limbo. They'll seek in the table office to be relisted at an appropriate time. Next, yes, Millie?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this chance. Mr. Speaker, as you can see, I'm seated by the tallest man in this parliament, Honorable Adipo Kwame of Karachuonyo. Mr. Speaker, I know you had indicated earlier when you had the House business that will raise a moment to eulogize two former members of parliament who are passed. And Honorable Adipo Kwame has told me that you have agreed that Honorable Phoebe issue might be brought tomorrow. Nonetheless, as a member of parliament, our first call and first stop is parliament. Mr. Speaker, would I be in order to request that even as we are waiting to eulogize them, because this is home for most of us, would it just be in order for us to stand and observe a minute of silence for two of our members and their women?
Order, Millie.
Before we can actually even contribute.
Why do you want to take the winds out of the sails? I had agreed with a member of parliament for Karachuonyo and the member of parliament for West Mugirango, who saw me. We've lost 2 former members. The honorable members first, then the women second. Honorable Phoebe Asio and the Honorable Catherine Nyamato, with whom I served in the 7th Parliament. We will give an opportunity tomorrow because Mogaka was ready, Okwame was not ready with his statement, and I accommodated him that he can present the statement tomorrow. I'll give you and many others who want to eulogize the 2 great women leaders tomorrow, and we'll give them a befitting moment of silence tomorrow. The next is lands. Is the chair lands in the house? Yes, you are, Honorable Nyamoko. Samuel Arama is in the house? Samuel Arama? Honorable Nyamoka, I know the response belongs to the House, but to be fair to the member who saw the statement, in case he has supplementary questions, I direct that the matter be put on the order paper on Thursday this week. Next, transport and infrastructure. Is the chair in the house? GK, you are. Honorable Kainan is in the house. Okay, go ahead and respond.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, on Wednesday, 16th April 2025, the member for Eldas constituency, the Honorable Dr. Aiden Kenan, MP, requested for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Transport and Infrastructure regarding the progress made in tarmacking of Wajir, Griftu, Eldas, Bumna, Bute, Moyale, Ethiopia, that is A14 International Track Road. The Honorable Kenan in the statement indicated that the said route has the potential to unlock transformative potential, which includes reducing logistics costs for business, strengthening supply chain resilience, and fostering regional development. Such strategic investments not only bridge isolated communities to national and continental markets, but also positions northern Kenya as a gateway for Pan-African trade, aligning with the vision of the African Continental Free Trade Area vision of seamless continental connectivity. Honorable Speaker, the Honorable Kenan therefore sought to, among other things, establish 1, the current status of funding, planning, and implementation of the tarmacking of the said road managed by KENHA, including specific timelines for its commencement. 2, plans put in place to fund this project, particularly under the Horn of Africa Gateway Project or other development initiatives, and details of these funding commitments. And 3, measures in place to fast-track the tarmacking of this critical corridor to ensure its timely completion and maximize its economic and regional integration benefits. Honorable Speaker, the committee received a written response from the Ministry of Roads and Transport on 14 May 2025, which I now wish to make. Number 1, regarding the current status of funding, planning, and implementation of this road, including specific timelines for its commencement, the Ministry submitted that the tarmacking has not commenced and that KENHA is currently undertaking detailed design for its upgrading to bitumen standards, and the design is expected to be completed in December this year. Number 2, the ministry submitted that construction shall commence once design is complete and funds for the works are made available. 3, Honorable Speaker, the contractor for the routine maintenance and sport improvement works has already been selected and has been on the ground for the past 1 month, undertaking preparatory and initial maintenance activities along the design sections. These works cover the following critical road segments. 1, Wajir to Griftu, 2, Griftu to Elders, 3, Elders to Buna, 4, Buna to Dabel, 5, Dabel to Moyale. Number 4, regarding the plans put in place to fund this project, particularly under the Horn of Africa Gateway Project or other development initiative, and details of these funding commitments, the ministry submitted that the agency shall seek funds for the construction of the road once design is complete and a cost estimate is established. There are currently no funding commitments in place for the road. And number 5, regarding the measures in place to fast-track the tarmacking of this critical corridor, the ministry submitted that KENHA is undertaking the ongoing design to define the scope of improvements necessary and establish a cost estimate which will be used to seek funds. Honorable Speaker, thank you, and I submit.
Kainan.
So, Speaker, I'm sure from where you sit, you must be very dissatisfied with this answer. This answer is half a paragraph.
The Speaker is not a participant.
I'm sure the Speaker also is a human being, and as a person who has used that road in your earlier life as a lawyer, you must be familiar with that particular road. That road, Mr. Speaker, there was an engagement between the Kenyan government and the Ethiopian government in the early 70s, Mr. Speaker, when Mzee Kibaki was the Minister for Finance under the leadership of the late Haile Selassie and under the leadership of the late President Kenyatta. Mr. Speaker, this answer on the face of it, my good friend, Mr. Speaker, could you please ask the members to consult in low tones?
Members, reduce loud consultations.
Mr. Speaker, this answer has not attempted, and I'm sure Chairman GK is familiar with this because he comes from a region which has a lot of tarmac roads, Mr. Speaker, a region that has been privileged, a region that is lucky.
Honorable Barto, can you tell those members gravitating around you to go and take their seats? Go on.
Mr. Speaker, I was just saying, maybe the Honorable GK, coming from a region that is well taken care of in terms of road infrastructure, cannot imagine a road linking Kenya to Addis. From all the way from Addis to Moyale to Wajir has been at the planning stage since 1974, Mr. Speaker. I'm sure I don't know whether Mr. GK was born then. From 1974 to date, Mr. Speaker, is over 50 years. We are still planning. We are still planning. And yet, our number one foreign policy, Mr. Speaker, is economic diplomacy. Ethiopia has a population of over 150 million people. If we cannot plan for that road, Mr. Speaker, meaning therefore, and we have concentrated all our road infrastructure to a region just here, Mr. Speaker, meaning we have become an inward-looking nation, Mr. Speaker. Isn't it the high time that we declare this answer, Mr. Speaker, as a not answer at all, and the Honorable GK to go back to the ministry and get an answer that really attempts to address this historical problem, Mr. Speaker, because it says, Mr. Speaker, you look at it, this answer, I don't know who wrote this. I'm sure the Honorable Chirchir did not go through this. If indeed he did, and I know he's very sympathetic to our region, he will have drafted a different answer. Because what I wanted is to find out whether there is any planning. Even the statement on planning is contradictory. One says it's been planned, the other one says the planning will be ready by 2025, Mr. Speaker. When you plan for something, then there must be the next stage. Mr. Speaker, will I be right to ask the chairman to go back and get a satisfactory answer that will not only address the needs of the people of Wajir, Marsabit, but will also link us to that critical country called Ethiopia, which is a neighbor, which is a highly potential trade area, Mr. Speaker, for our country. Mr. Speaker, the second bit, Mr. Speaker, on this, one of the reasons, Mr. Speaker, why we decided to have many different agencies under the road sector, in particular Kenya and Kera and Kura, is to address specialized needs of the people of Kenya, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, it is the high time that Kenya also, the leadership of Kenya, reflect and put into perspective the needs of that particular region and request the chairman to go back to these people and ensure that this road gets adequate funding immediately. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Chairman, is it true that we have brought no answer? Give the chairman.
Honorable Speaker, I empathize with my colleague, Honorable Kenan, and I really want to assure him that it's in the interest of my committee that this road be tarmacked. But Honorable Speaker, I also want to request my colleague, my senior, Honorable Kenan, to also consider that the ministry has made a commitment in writing that they will have completed the design work by end of this year. And number two, the ministry has indicated that there is some ongoing work happening on this road, and we want to believe that what they have indicated here is what is happening, and they will keep the timelines as indicated. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Professor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I think listening to this comment or the answer given by the chair, he has not given any answer. That road, I share that road, at least 65 kilometers of that road in my constituency. And I also want to inform the House that when it rains, the MP for Elders cannot get to his constituency. The MP for Mandera North, Wajir North, cannot get to his constituency just because of the poor state of that road. I think we should not be talking about we are planning. Let's take a much more affirmative action to help the people of Wajir to be connected to the world, to the only tarmac road in the north, so that they can also enjoy what other people have been enjoying. It actually, by making that road at bitumen standard, you are actually opening up the business in that area. Wajir was a very serious capital center for northern Kenya during the colonial days. And it was well connected to Mwele. We cannot continue to wait for plans to be done. And this work which the chairman said that some work is being done, there is no work which has been done. The chairman, if you are not listening, there is no work which has been done, and we need to be
made your point. Farah.
Mr. Speaker, the answer by the chairman says that design is being undertaken. 62 years after independence, a priority road, and you say the design is being undertaken. Mr. Chairman, when will this design be complete? Can you give us a time frame on when the design is going to be complete so that we can have a tentative understanding of when the funding can be sourced, because without the design, the funding cannot be sought. Thank you. And when will also the design for Garissa, Dadaab, Liboi, Harhar Road be ready too?
Sane. is there fumbling with the gadget?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm equally not happy, or rather not satisfied with the response of the committee. I'm a member of that committee. Mr. Speaker, it all talks to the level of marginalization. This road traverses my constituency, 60 to 70% of this road. 62 years of independence. We don't have substantive answers. As we speak, this road is impassable. Many other roads in the constituency are impassable, not motorable at all. I have made various requests to make the committee visit this road so that they can actualize and do some ground truthing. My request is that this House or the chair speaks an affirmative command on this committee, Mr. Speaker, which I belong to, that we do visit these roads so that we can come up with substantive answers. Thank you.
Chair Rhodes.
Honorable Speaker, listening to my colleagues and the interest they have to ensure that this road is tarmacked, we will invite the DG, I believe now the acting DG, Kenha, and the minister to come and explain to the committee the measures that they are undertaking to ensure that this road is tarmacked. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Kainan, very last.
Mr. Speaker, can the chairman assure this House before the end of the current regime, before the end of this term, the end of this current regime might be 2032, before the end of this current term, this particular road will be tarmacked? Can you assure the House? And two, taking into account the chairman, you preside over a very important committee. Can you also assure this House that the planning will be fast-tracked so it does not wait for the end of this year and the commencement of the construction starts immediately?
Since you're going to have the, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Since you're going to have the DG and the Minister, the Cabinet Secretary, most likely available for this, could you do the totality of Northern Kenya? Because the road I talked to you about, the Madogo, Garissa, Dadaab, Liboi, Harhar Road, the design has already been awarded to a company. It's been ongoing now for the last 7-8 months. We expected by more than 7 months. By now it will be ready. When will that design also be ready so that funding can be sourced? In addition to the road that's just been mentioned by the Honorable Kainan, which is equally very, very important. Thank you.
To Honorable Farah, I don't think I want to talk about that other road. You will need to ask a question the same way Honorable Kenan has done, and I will respond. I also want to say, Honorable Speaker, that I love the way the regional members of the members of Parliament from this region are united in pushing for their project, for this particular project and other projects, and we will not disappoint you as a committee that I have. Honorable Speaker, to Honorable Kenan, I don't think I have the powers to assure the House. The only thing I can do is confirm that together with my colleagues in the Transport Committee, we will do our best to support the tarmacking of this road. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Honorable members, allow me to acknowledge in the Speaker's gallery Changondu Secondary School from Booni Makueni. In the public gallery, we have Musibao Primary School from Kinangop, Nyandarua, Gatwamba JSS from Kieni, Nyeri, Sekenani Primary School from Narok West, Narok, Ngumo Boys from Kibwezi West, Makueni, and Teret Secondary School from Joro, Nakuru. On my behalf and on behalf of the House, we welcome the students, their teachers, and those accompanying them to the House of Parliament. Next order. Hold. Yes, Jared.
Mr. Speaker, I thank you for the opportunity, and let me join you in welcoming our colleagues back from recess. Honorable Speaker, I want to thank you specifically for walking this House the journey on reclassification of hardship areas. And through your efforts, Honorable Speaker, you did invite the Prime Cabinet Secretary before this House, who took us through the journey of new reclassification of hardship areas, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, when the Prime Cabinet Secretary presented here, he did mention the new areas that were yet to be gazetted, but had been identified by the government for gazettement, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, a week ago, I read that that process has since been suspended. They have suspended gazettement of areas that have already been identified by the government to be hardship areas, Honorable Speaker. Now, the reason that has been advanced is that those who are benefiting and who are to be removed from the scheme have since made noises to the effect that they are not ready to lose, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I've got absolutely no problem people retaining what they are getting. But then what is the fate of those who are identified as new beneficiaries by government, Honorable Speaker? And you are not new to this process because you have always stood with us in this journey, Honorable Speaker. Nyando constituency was part of the areas that were newly identified for gazettement. And the expectation out there was that by the end of July, in the new financial year, they were going to have varied pay slips, Honorable Speaker. Now, with this information, it has dampened the spirits of teachers particularly, together with those who serve in the national government, or public servants for that matter, that they are now not very keen to what this government talks about, Honorable Speaker. But when the government states an issue, much less by a Prime Cabinet Secretary, Honorable Speaker, it has to be implemented. You cannot walk back on a promise that has been made to people who absolutely need this help, Honorable Speaker. So I need your direction.
Honorable Jared Okello, you are prosecuting an argument based on something you read somewhere. Yes. There has been no official communication to that effect. So you probably are flogging a dead horse. Yes. Why can't you, if you need better clarity, frame another request? And I see the majority leader is here, then I can direct him to take an appropriate moment and respond. Because you are saying you read somewhere. Yes. And you are using that as a basis of your authority, contrary to your standing orders. Yes. Yes.
Honorable Speaker, whereas I read it in the mainstream media, which has a degree of authenticity, I take your direction as to put probably a supplementary question on this matter so that the leadership of the House can give the right answers.
I'll approve for you to bring it to the floor.
I'll do that right away, Honorable Speaker, and I thank you.
Yes, Honorable Milemba.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for this chance. On the same matter of hardship allowance, I think the Honorable Jared forgets one thing which I thought should have been fundamental for him to raise. When the Prime Cabinet Secretary was here, the Speaker made a ruling, and I think, Honorable Speaker, I should draw your attention to the ruling that you made. And it was after Honorable Milley spoke about policy changing a law or an act. And you ruled that before the matter is handled beyond a certain stage, it's brought back to the House. So I think that's what Honorable Jared should follow, and I'm also following the same, because I'm a keen and thorough follower of the fact that no teacher who has been getting hardship allowance should lose his place, but also keen that if new places are there, let them be included. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
You've just fallen into the same trap as Okello, because you are buttressing something that is based on rumor. And the Standing Order 87 is very clear: except as the Speaker may otherwise allow, it shall be out of order for a member to refer to an extract from print or electronic media as an authority in the member's speech. So he used a fault authority, and you are using the same fault authority as a basis of your argument. Let him bring, or you bring, I know you are a trade unionist, for teachers who are mostly affected by, yes, that's correct. Jared Okello is pursuing the rights of the people he represents using rumors from the media. And that's what I'm saying should not be the case. So when he files, or you file, an additional request, I will allow it to be prosecuted. Next order.
Order number 8, motion. Consideration of the performance audit report on the provision of services to persons with disability by the National Council for Persons with Disability. Question to be put.
Order, members on their feet, take your seats. DK, today you are extremely active. Honorable members, we will now put the question at order number 8, which is that this House adopts the report of the Public Investments Committee on Social Services, Administration and Agriculture on its consideration of the performance audit report by the Auditor General on the provision of services to persons with disabilities by the National Council for Persons with Disabilities, laid on the table of the House on Tuesday, 30th July 2024. As members of that opinion say aye. Will those of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Order number 9, motion. Consideration of the 5th report on the financial statement for NGCDF accounts for 6 constituencies in Busia County.
Chairperson, Decentralized Funds Accounts Committee, Honorable Muliungi, PS Emeritus.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I beg to move that this House adopts the 5th report of the Decentralized Funds Accounts Committee on its examination of the audited financial statements for the National Government Constituencies Development Fund for 6 constituencies in Busia County for the financial years 2013-14, 2014-15.
Order, Honorable Muliungi, read the motion as framed on the order paper. I beg to move the following motion, then read the motion as it appears on the order paper.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that
I beg to move the following motion. Then you read the motion as it's framed on the order paper.
Oh, sorry.
You don't have the order paper?
I've speaked it.
Okay.
I have it.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, I beg to move the following motion. Consideration of the 5th report of the financial statements for the NGCDF accounts for 6 constituencies in Busia County. Mr. Speaker.
Order, Honorable Muliungi, you are a seasoned member. I beg to move the following motion, then read the motion as it is, word for word.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Millie, can you help your colleague behind you?
No, I have it now.
Yes.
I have it now.
Go
Mr.
ahead.
Speaker, I beg to move the following motion. That this House adopts the 5th report of the Decentralized Funds Accounts Committee on its consideration of the report of the Auditor General on the financial statements for the National Government Constituency Development Fund for 6 constituencies in Busia County, being Teso South, Matayos, Nambale, Funyula, Teso North, and the Butula constituencies for the financial years 2013-2014, 2014-2015, 2015-2016, 2016-2017, 2017-2018, 2018-2019, 2019-2020, 2020-2021, and the 2021-2022 laid on the table of the House on Thursday, 10th of April, 2025.
Excellent. Now you can use your notes to move in the manner you wish.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that Honorable Speaker, I think my clerk did the wrong notes. Honorable Speaker, the Decentralized Funds Accounts Committee is established pursuant to National Standing Order number 205B and is responsible for the examination of the reports of the Auditor General on the accounts of the National Government Constituencies Development Fund. The National Government Constituency Action Fund, GAF, and the respective governing boards. This is to ensure transparency, efficiency, and effectiveness of utilization of public resources. Honorable Speaker, the committee examined a total of 54 reports of the Auditor General for Teso South, Matayos, Nambale, Funyula, Teso North, and the Mbutula constituencies, covering 9 financial years for 2013-14 to 2021-2022. The observations, findings, and recommendations are contained in the committee report now before the House. The committee inherited a backlog of over 4,000 audit reports for the financial year 2013-2014 for NGCDF. Given that each of the 290 constituencies is audited independently, the committee initially reviewed financial statements for 3 years concurrently per county. Later, we resolved to examine all the available reports up to the most recent current year. Honorable Speaker, the Constituency Development Fund, first enacted in 2003 and later realigned through the NGCDF Act 2015, has remained a critical vehicle supporting grassroots development in constituencies through direct funding of local projects, impacting education, infrastructure, and the local institutions positively. The fund has had a significant impact on the lives of the people of Busia County through various infrastructure and social development projects, including the construction and renovation of schools, purchase of land for public institutions, and supporting for security and the other initiatives. A highlight of some of the projects undertaken in Busia County constituencies examined include: number 1, in Teso South constituency, the fund supported the construction of a 2-story administration and tuition block at Busia Township Primary School. In Matayos constituency, a major project undertaken was the construction of a demonstration block at Mundinga Secondary School. In Nambale constituency, the fund was used to purchase land for expansion of Quilare Secondary School and Mungasi TTI. In Funyula constituency, the fund supported drilling of a bore at Munandi Primary School, providing the much needed water to the community. In Teso North constituency, the fund financed the construction of Kocholia KMTC, including its administration block, lecture halls, and laboratories. In Butula constituency, the fund was used to construct Burinda Chief's Camp, which now serves as the office of the Marachi West Assistant County Commissioner. Honorable Speaker, upon examination of the Auditor General's reports for the 6 constituencies, the committee made the following general observations and recommendations. On outstanding land issues, the committee observed that during the period under review, all 6 constituencies in Busia County had outstanding land issues, including transfer, succession, acquisition of title deeds for land purchased using the fund, relating to procurement done over 10 years ago with no title deeds. The committee therefore recommends that the NGCDF board, in conjunction with the NGCDF committees, should within 3 months upon adoption of this report ensure that fund account managers are guided on the succession and the land transfer processes to ensure title deeds for their respective institutions and institutions are listed as beneficiaries where appropriate on succession matters. The board should also on the procedure for buying land to ensure due diligence is done, ensuring compliance with Section 11(1)(k) of the National Government Constituencies Development Fund Regulations 2016, which mandates verification and authentication of ownership documents with relevant government agencies. On pending, ongoing and stored projects, the committee observed that a critical cause of stored projects was partial allocation of funds and a late exchequer releases by the Treasury. The committee recommends that NGCDA board should discourage partial allocation of funds and ensure projects are completed within 2 financial years. The board should also develop a realistic policy framework in consultation with relevant government departments for costing projects to ensure estimates are accurate to prevent stalling of projects. Honorable Speaker, on audit, coordination and documentation, the committee noted that there is inadequate coordination between fund account managers and the Office of the Auditor General, particularly in responding to audit queries, and are failing the necessary documents for audit review in a timely manner. The committee recommends that NGCDA board issues administrative guidelines to ensure fund account managers maintain original project files at the NGCDF office to ensure they are available for audit. Further, constituency committees should employ qualified accountants to strengthen financial management. Honorable Speaker, on non-compliance with procurement laws, the committee observed that management and the project management committees, some of them failed to comply with the Public Procurement and Asset Disposal Act 2015. The committee recommends that the NGCDA board, in consultation with the Public Procurement Regulatory Authority, conducts continuous capacity building for all fund account managers and PMCs on procurement laws and regulations. On allocation of emergency funds, the committee observed instances where funds were allocated for non-emergency purposes. The committee recommends strict adherence to Section 6.2 and 813 of the NGCDF Act 2015, which outlines the conditions for allocation and use of emergency funds. Finally, Honorable Speaker, on co-funding of projects, the committee observed that buses were being purchased through hire purchase and asset financing, which is contrary to the specified procurement methods and the board's directive on purchase of buses on an one-off basis. The committee recommends that NGCDA board enforce its guidelines on the purchase of school buses where co-funding is necessary. Evidence and availability of funds from the partner institutions should be provided before the board's approval. Honorable Speaker, the committee recommendations in this report are aimed at enhancing accountability, transparency and efficiency in the management of the National Government Constituencies Development Fund in Busia and the development outcomes in our constituencies, country, for oversight by the NGCDF. Honorable Speaker, I beg to move and request Honorable Muthoni Kiara to second the motion. I thank you, Honorable Madam Speaker.
You can call the seconder, but before that, allow me to recognize the presence of the following schools which are seated in the public gallery. Harmony Hills Academy from Naivasha constituency, Nakuru County. The Link Group from Mumias constituency, Kakamega County. And Nyahururu Highway JSS from Daragwa constituency in Nyandarua County. And Kiambatha Primary School from Gishugu constituency in Kirinyaga County. And seated in the Speaker's gallery, there is Area School Kisumu from Kisumu Central constituency, Kisumu County. And the Speaker and the National Assembly, we welcome you to Parliament. Thank you. You may proceed. Who's the seconder?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the decentralized committee did interrogate and look at the audited report of Teso South, Matthias, Nabari, Funyula, Teso North, and Butura constituencies in Busia County. Honorable Speaker, the committee were examining the audited accounts, invited both current and former fund account managers, as well as the Chief Executive Officer of the NGCDF Board to clarify issues raised by the Auditor General. The committee made observations and recommendations for the respective constituencies based on the nature of the audited issues raised. Honorable Speaker, it is very evident that a majority of the issues that were raised did cut across all the constituencies, Honorable Madam Speaker. And one of the major issues that was raised is the issue of land, which has been mentioned, Honorable Speaker, and the issue of land has become very emotive in almost all the constituencies where land is purchased, but eventually it lacks documentation. Honorable Speaker, with this, Honorable Speaker, widespread anomaly, the MGCDF board has been advised to fast track on the sale documents and ensure that all land purchased as required documents. Honorable Speaker, matters of great concern is failure of the fund managers to submit the necessary documents for audit review at the time of the audit. The fund account managers are well trained, but they know all the documents that they are supposed to avail during the time of audit. But Honorable Speaker, more often than not, these documents are not availed. Further, Honorable Madam Speaker, the committees recommended that all the PMCs, the project managers, they are well trained and well versed on their law as the PMCs at the constituency level. Honorable Speaker, to prioritize proper audits, Honorable Speaker, the committee recommended that all the documents be availed at the time of audit. The committee further argues improved coordination between the Office of the Auditor General and the offices of the fund account managers. Honorable Speaker, the issue of stored and ongoing projects and pending projects which are left halfway is an issue that is very critical in proper accounting and at the same time prudent use of public resources. Honorable Speaker, the committee did recommend that for future, let the fund account managers allocate money sufficient to complete all the ongoing projects. Honorable Speaker, the NGCDF continues to be a critical vehicle for grassroots development. The implementation of the committee's recommendation as contained in this report will go a long way in ensuring that there is in the management and effectiveness of this very critical fund. It is worth noting, Honorable Madam Speaker, that among the tangible projects that are physically visible in our country across all constituencies are projects which are implemented using the NGCDF fund. Honorable Speaker, it is therefore very, very necessary that we ask all the MPs to do proper oversighting so that they can ensure that service delivery is timely to strengthen the accountability of this fund. Honorable Speaker, I second.
Honorable Senators, allow me to read the County Allocation of Revenue Bill, Senate Bills number 9 of 2025 results. The results are the ayes 34, nays 0, abstentions 0. The ayes have it. Clerks, you may now read.
A bill for an act of parliament to provide for the equitable allocation of revenue raised nationally among the county governments for the 2025-2026 financial year, the responsibility of national and county governments pursuant to such allocation and for connected purposes.
Honorable members, allow me now to read the results for the Equalization Fund Appropriation Bill, Senate Bills number 7 of 2025. The ayes 34, the nays 0, abstentions 0. The ayes have it. Clerks, you may read for the second time.
A bill for an act of parliament to authorize the issue of a sum of money out of the Equalization Fund and its application towards the service of the year ending 30th June 2026 to appropriate that sum for certain public basic services and for connected purposes.
Honorable Senators, Sergeant-at-Arms, you may now draw the bars and open the doors. Honorable Senators, allow me to rearrange the order paper to prioritize the finance bills. We will then next move to order number 15.
Order number 15, the County Government's Additional Allocations number 2 Bill,
Senate Bills number 8 of 2025, second reading, resumption of debate.
Senators, Senator Kajwang had 15 minutes left, but I see no one on the screen. Can the mover reply?
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I want to take this opportunity to thank the honorable senators who have contributed to the bill in terms of their views. And as I reply, I want to summarize that how to summarize? 1 minute. 1 minute. In summary, the bill proposes to add county government 69.8 billion shillings of additional money to counties, comprising of 2.95 billion from court fines, 20% share of minerals to amounting to 9.95 billion from national government share of revenue.
Honorable senators, please.
And
Senator Cherarkei, please sit.
56.91 billion proceeds from loans and grants in the third schedule. Madam Speaker, I beg to reply.
Honorable senators, Sergeant at Arms, can you kindly ring the division bell for 2 minutes? Senators, please don't move out. Sergeant at Arms, you may lock the doors and draw the bars. Honorable senators, I put the question. Oh, not yet. Senators, I put the question that the county government's additional allocations bill number 2, Senate Bills number 8 of 2025 be now read a second time. Senators, you may now vote. Senator Abbas and Senator Ojenda, please approach the table. Honorable Senators, Senator Cherarke, please sit down. Honorable Senators, we have the results for the county government's additional allocation, number 2 bill, Senate bills, number 8 of 2025. The results are ayes 32, nays 0, abstentions 0. The ayes have it. Clerk, you may read for the second time.
A bill for an act of parliament to provide for the additional allocations for county governments for the 2024-2025 financial year, the responsibilities of national government and county governments pursuant to such allocation and for connected purposes.
Sergeant at Arms, you may withdraw the bars and open the doors. Honorable Senators, we will now go back to order number 7 on the statements.
Order number 7, questions and statements.
Senator Mohamed Faki.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Celebrated every year on the 16th of July. It is a moment to reflect on the critical yet often misunderstood role that snakes play in maintaining ecological balance across various landscapes. The theme for this year's celebration is respect, do not fear, protecting nature's silent guardians. This theme aligns well with the broader goal of conservation, which involves protecting all species, both large and small, whether admired or feared, because each has a unique and essential place in the web of life. Important role in pest control, the health of ecosystems, and preservation of biodiversity. Unfortunately, due to widespread fear, harmful myths, and habitat destruction, snakes are often killed immediately upon sight. These fears are mainly caused by misinformation. It is therefore our responsibility to promote accurate information through education and public awareness. This year's theme reminds us that peaceful coexistence begins with understanding. We must work to change the negative perceptions about snakes, especially within our communities, and foster respect of all wildlife, and not just the well-known or attractive species. As we conduct conservation awareness walks across the country, we encounter many voices and species that highlight one clear truth, that we cannot preserve forests or wildlife in isolation without protecting the ecosystems to which they belong. The Wildlife Conservation and Management Act compensation as part of human-wildlife conflict. However, this provision was removed in 2019 when the Act was amended. It is important to relook into this matter and reinstate the compensation for snake bites victims with adequate safeguards to curb abuse. Additionally, many people lose their lives due to the lack of anti-snake venoms in health facilities across the country. The government should ensure that all health facilities are properly stocked with anti-snake venom, because snakes are present in every part of the country. Madam Speaker, I urge all Kenyans, including community leaders, schools, conservation organizations, and citizens, to take time to learn about our native snake species, understand their roles, and discourage unnecessary killing. Let us teach the next generation to respect rather than fear, and to protect rather than destroy our environment. Together we can create a future where snakes are not seen as threats, but are essential allies to our conservation journey. Thank you, Madam Speaker. Happy World Snake Day.
Senator Okenyuri. Order, senators, the rights of snakes must be protected.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. This is a statement on the demise and enduring legacy of the late Honorable Catherine Nyamato. Madam Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 52.1 to make a statement on a matter of national concern, namely, the demise and enduring legacy of the late Honorable Catherine Nyamato, who passed away on Wednesday, 16th July 2025. Madam Speaker, sir, the late Honorable Catherine Nyamato, a former nominated Member of Parliament from Nyamira County, West Mogrango constituency, was the first woman Member of Parliament from the Gusii community. She was nominated by the Kenya African National Union Party, that's KANU, and served with dedication as a member of the 8th Parliament that ran from 1998 to 2002. She was a seasoned politician and a woman of valor who never compromised her beliefs. She was known to be fearless and passionate in what she fought for, and never surrendered even in the face of intimidation. Even so, she was both humble and principled, and exemplified the spirit of service, which earned her the admiration of colleagues from across the political divide. Madam Speaker, her parliamentary tenure, the late Honorable Catherine Nyamato served as a chairperson of Maendeleo ya Wanawake organization, which I'm a member, through which she amplified the voices of women and girls across the country. She boldly championed women's rights and fought against harmful cultural practices like female genital mutilation, pushed for gender equality in Kenya, and was relentless in her advocacy for women leadership. She also founded the Nyamato Foundation, where she took part in programs geared towards transforming the lives of her people. Madam Speaker, sir, the legacy of the late Honorable Catherine Nyamato is well documented.
It's not Madam Speaker, sir.
Oh, sorry. Madam Speaker, the legacy of the late Honorable Catherine Nyamato is well documented and will live on generations to come. I offer my most sincere condolences to her family, friends, people of Nyamira County, and nation at large. May her soul rest in eternal peace. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Senator Cherarke.
Yes. Thank you, Madam Speaker. The Senate statement on a matter of national concern on the Kaptagat Integrated Conservation Program. Madam Speaker, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 52-1 to make a statement on a matter of national concern regarding environmental conservation, particularly the Kaptagat Integrated Conservation Program. Speaker, can I be protected? The Kaptagat Integrated Conservation Program is a visionary
Senator Methu, can you let Senator Cherarkei read his statement in peace?
Madam Speaker, the Kaptagat Integrated Conservation Program is a visionary initiative led by Principal Secretary of the National Treasury, Dr. Chris Kipto. It aims to restore and conserve the Kaptagat forest ecosystem while uplifting surrounding communities. The program is aligned with Kenya's national climate goals, supporting the country's target of planting 15 billion trees by the year 2032 and increasing forest cover to 30%. Madam Speaker, the program has been ongoing for several years, with a 9th edition held on 12 July 2025 at Simatwa Boys High School in Elgeyo Marakwet County. Dr. Chris Kipto, who serves as the patron of the initiative, has remained at the forefront of this noble effort. The event was graced by none other, His Excellency President Dr. William Samoei Arap Ruto, a man of two terms, who attended as brought together government leaders, and members of the local community in united effort
Senator
to safeguard the
Cherarkei,
Kaptagat
there is a point of order.
ecosystem.
Please sit down as the...
Honorable Speaker, the rules of this House require that statements are approved by your office and that when they come to the floor, they shall be read as approved as is. Can we confirm from this text that was approved by the Speaker whether the question of one term or two term was included in that statement by the Senator for Nandi? Because this is not a place for jokes, Honorable Speaker. We are not here to play games. Let him confirm to us, and the Speaker, you can check whether that word that he has used is in that approved statement. If he wants to make his own statements, he can go to rallies there in Kapsabet. But here we are here for serious business. You don't waste our time listening to rubbish.
Senator Cherarkei, you will only read the statement that was approved. There is no two-term in this statement that was approved. Proceed. Yes, what's the point?
Madam Speaker, did you hear the last term? Maybe it may have skipped you because you were just about. Even when you disagree with a colleague and you think that what they have said is not accurate, you cannot refer to it as rubbish. Senator Sifuna,
Senator
those
Sifuna,
are offensive remarks and they need to be struck out.
That is unparliamentary language. Please withdraw that bit.
Madam Speaker, it was offensive to me, just like the rubbish that we see out there being offensive to us.
Senator
so if it is
Sifuna is unparliamentary language.
I withdraw, but I say he must only use terms that
I have already ruled on that.
Yeah, let him withdraw that two terms.
I have ruled on that.
Because the only word we can use here is one term.
Senator Sifuna, I have guided on that. So, please also, which is the word one term? That also has no context in what we are discussing. So, please withdraw your one term as well.
Honorable Speaker.
Because you have used your space to also make some statement beyond. Senator Sifuna. Senator Sifuna, I suggest you raise a very important issue.
Madam, once he withdraws the two term, the one term will disappear automatically. Can he withdraw the offensive words first?
Senator Cherarkei, please withdraw.
Madam Speaker, you know there is what we call stereodices. Your matter has been ruled and we have stopped. You had ruled on that. Madam Speaker, let me continue.
Senator Cherarkei, please just withdraw the reference to two terms so that we proceed. Let's have an orderly house, please.
I don't know why Senator Sifuna...
Just withdraw. I am guiding you as chair. I am guiding you as chair, please.
Speaker, how many speakers do you have, Madam Speaker?
There is one speaker and
Yes,
you are not following what that speaker is telling you. Would you kindly do that?
Madam Speaker, I didn't know that senior counsel is a heckler, but I withdraw, Madam Speaker. It brought together, it brought together government leaders and conservationists and members of the local community in a united effort to safeguard the Kaptagat system. Whether you like it, William Ruto will go for 2 terms.
Senator Kisang, what's your point of order? Senator Cherarkey, hold on. Senator Kisang, Senator Cherarkey, just hold on. Senator Cherarkey, please, Senator Kisang has asked for a point of order and I've granted it. Kindly listen.
Madam Speaker, my point of order is the House is turning into some chaotic house. So can you please bring order to the House? Because people are shouting. This is a very important statement that concerns my county. And we want to conserve and ensure that the forest cover in the country reaches 15 billion.
Senator Kisang, what is your point of order?
Yes.
What is your point of order?
I said, please, let's give Cherarkey some ample time to read the statement.
I'm ruling you out of order. That is not a point of order. Now, Senator Cherarkey, before, you are actually interfering with your own statement. Can you withdraw reference to Senator Omogeni as a heckler? Please, let's not. I'm requesting members that we respect the rules of the House. Yeah. No, nobody's on the floor, so I ruled you out of that. Please proceed.
Madam Speaker, I withdraw. During the event, President William Ruto announced plans to fence off the
Senator
forest.
Cherarkey, you know what to do. Why do we have to go through this? Please withdraw and apologize.
Madam Speaker, as I withdraw and apologize, I never mentioned anybody's name. If you can check answer, but I withdraw and apologize.
You actually refer to him as heckler. Let's not go there.
I said senior counsel, and we have 2 in the House. It is
whoever the senior counsel, you have to withdraw and apologize to the 2.
To all senior counsels in the House, I withdraw and apologize. During the event, President William Samoei Arap Ruto announced plans to fence off Kaptagat Forest and other forests as part of a wider national strategy to protect all state forests in the country. He emphasized the importance of securing this critical water catchment area and affirmed that the government would mobilize the necessary resources for the task. The president reiterated that while the forest must be protected from illegal activities, local communities should continue to benefit through participatory forest management plans and agreements. As part of the efforts to boost livelihoods, His Excellency the President Dr. William Ruto led the planting of over 400 avocado seedlings at the school and distributed 50,000 avocado seedlings and 100,000 coffee seedlings to the local farmers. He also commended Dr. Chris Kiptoo for his outstanding leadership in forest conservation and his national treasury duties. I take this opportunity to commend Dr. Chris Kiptoo for his unwavering dedication to environmental conservation, among other conservationists across the country, particularly his role in restoration of Kaptagat Forest. His commitment to this program has yielded long-term benefits for both the environment and the people of the region. In his own words, there is nothing more critical now that conserving our environment for current and future generations, considering the effects of climate change we are witnessing. Madam Speaker, Dr. Kiptoo adopted the Kaptagat Forest Conservation Initiative many years ago under his leadership. It has grown into a highly respected and internationally recognized program. Since its inception in 2017, the Kaptagat Integration Conservation Program has brought together national and county governments, private sector partners, civil society, and communities to restore this vital ecosystem while improving local livelihoods. Madam Speaker, the Kaptagat initiative continues to serve as a model for balancing environmental protection with economic and social development, a goal that is increasingly becoming central to both national and global conservation strategies. Madam Speaker, Many residents of Kaptagat have expressed optimism about the ongoing forest restoration efforts. They have reported improvements in their livelihoods, especially through avocado farming and shift away from traditional cereal cultivation. They have voiced their gratitude to Dr. Chris Kipto for championing a program that has brought tangible benefits for their lives. Madam Speaker, beyond this environmental work, Dr. Chris Kipto has also championed education and other community-based projects in the North Rift region and the larger country, further underscoring his deep commitment to empowering communities at the grassroots level. Madam Speaker, in conclusion, with your indulgence, I call upon fellow leaders and members of the public to emulate the efforts of Dr. Chris Kipto, the Kaptagat community in Elgeyo Marakwet County, and the stakeholders involved in the Kaptagat Integrated Conservation Program. Emulate His Excellency Dr. William Ruto. Let us all take part in the conservation and restoration of our forest and natural environment for the benefit of current and future generation. I thank you, Madam Speaker, not Madam Speaker, sir.
Senate statements pursuant to Standing Order 53.1. Senator Cherarke, you may proceed with your 53 statement.
Madam Speaker, request for statement.
Senator Thangwa, what do you want to clarify? Under what order? Clarify what?
Yeah.
Yes, Senator Thangwa.
Yes, Madam Speaker, I've just listened to Senator Cherarke doing his statement under the Standing Order 52.1. And it has been the norm, Madam Speaker, when we take the statements to the table office, maybe he can sit down to avoid intimidating me. When they are taken to the table office, Madam Speaker, our statements are asked, over-edited, and all that, Madam Speaker. But when you listen to what Senator Cherarke was reading, it was almost 3 pages, even including some unnecessary things like tutam, tutamutoa inside there, Madam Speaker. So my question is, do we have 2 offices that are dealing with statements so that we understand where to take what, if you want the meat in your statement, Madam Speaker? Because that is not how they come in here, Madam Speaker.
Senator,
so that is something that you should order, that we need to look into it. If you can be allowed to bring your statement here without editing, without anybody asking the question, allow everyone.
Senator Thangwa, I direct that you actually put your question in writing to the relevant office so that the issue is discussed. Senator Cherarke on 53.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And I request that you organize refresher courses for
Senator
some of the
Cherarke,
members.
on to your
Request
statement,
for the
please.
statement of on the disappearance of Edward Kipchumba Terer and Mark Lomuke in Sambalat, Elgeyo Marakwet County. I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53.1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on National Security, Defense and Foreign Relations on a matter of county-wide concern regarding the mysterious disappearance of Edward Kipchumba Terer, who comes from Wasingishu, Mr. Mark Lomuke in Sambalat, Elgeyo Marakwet County. Madam Speaker, on Monday, 2nd June 2025, Mr. Edward Kipchumba Terer, a medical laboratory technologist at Hope Clinic in Sambalat, was reportedly apprehended at his work place by individuals claiming to be police officers and taken away in an armored vehicle. He was arrested alongside 2 others, one being the clinic's owner, who were later released. A week later, Terer's brother-in-law, Mr. Mark Lomuke, was abducted under similar mysterious circumstances. These incidences occurred shortly after the murder of Catholic priest Father Alois Cheruiyot Bet, who hails from Nandibad in the same region, further escalating public anxiety. Despite numerous efforts by the affected families and appeals to level authorities, the whereabouts of 2 gentlemen remain unknown. In the statement, Madam Speaker, the committee should address the following. 1, an account of the circumstances surrounding the disappearance of Mr. Terer and Mr. Lomuke, including the identities of the abductors, immediate actions taken by the authorities to address their disappearance, and the current status and progress of investigations. Madam Speaker, number 2, whether the individuals who apprehended Mr. Terer were duly authorized law enforcement officers, the legal basis of the arrest, and whether standard procedures were followed during the arrest. Madam Speaker, finally, the measures being implemented to ensure public safety in the region, that is in the Sanbalat and Kerioval region, the support provided to affected families, and how the government is engaging communities to address the growing insecurity and demand for accountability. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Senator Kisang.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53.1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Devolution and Intergovernmental Relations on a matter of county-wide concern regarding human resource practices, payroll management, and general staff administration within Elgeyo-Marakwet County Public Service Board. Honorable Speaker, the 2023 audit report on the operations of Elgeyo-Marakwet County Public Service Board done by the County Government Sectorial Committee on Administration, Justice, and Public Service indicates that the County Public Service Board is grappling with administrative challenges that include procedural staff appointments and promotions, irregular payroll practices, and non-compliance with public service employment standards. These issues not only affect staff morale and service delivery, but also contribute to inefficiencies in the county's wage bill and resource allocation. In the statement, the committee should address the following. 1, the rationale behind the frequent and unexplained transition of employees between permanent and contract terms, especially in instances where officers revert to previous positions after serving as County Executive Committee members, CCs, or Chief Officers, COs. Secondly, Honorable Speaker, the basis upon which certain officers were promoted while bypassing multiple job groups, and whether proper recruitment processes, including interviews, were undertaken. 3, the reasons why senior acting appointments, particularly for the position of chief officers, were made without adherence to substantive appointment protocols. 4, an account for the payment of special house allowances totaling 11 million Kenya shillings, 384,400 to 156 officers, and additional special salaries amounting to 3,141,193.50 to 25 members of staff over a 1-year period, despite clear public service guidelines prohibiting such discretionary payments. 5, Madam Speaker, the data on any county staff, either on permanent contract or casual terms, who have experienced delayed or non-payment of salaries during the 2022-23, 2023-24, and 2024-25 financial years, stating the causes and steps taken to resolve the matter. Finally, Madam Speaker, the reasons why 11 staff members remain on profession beyond the legally permitted duration, and why 7 officers beyond the retirement age of 60 continue to appear on the payroll, contrary to the established public service regulations. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Senator Abbas.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, raise pursuant to Standing Order 531 to seek statement from the Standing Committee of National Security and Defense Relations on matter of nationwide concerns regarding the rising cases of abduction and disappearance of across the country, and specifically the disappearance of Mr. Hussein Abdurrahman Mohammed, who was the Huduma Center Manager in Wajir County, and a senior civil servant of the rank Deputy County Commissioner. Madam Speaker, Mr. Hussein disappeared. He was last seen on 8th of July 2025. It's very unfortunate that this country, Kenyans are disappearing by the day and by hours without any explanation, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, Mr. Hussein is actually a very senior civil servant, and up to date, for the last 2 weeks, he is not known where he has been to. Whether he's been abducted, whether he's been killed, we don't know where he is. And therefore, if a senior civil servant like Hussein can disappear, then I think everybody in this country is so unsecure, and we need to take, action has been taken against these kind of businesses. Madam Speaker, every Kenyan has a right to be presented to courts. Every Kenyan has a right. If somebody actually is a criminal, the criminal has also a right to come to court and to be taken to court or to be listened, and his relatives must be informed. Keeping people in community is not actually what is wanted. Honorable Speaker.
Senator Methu, what is the point of order?
Maybe because a clarification, because you gave guidance. I want to know whether what Senator Abbas is reading is part of what was approved by the Speaker, or he is contributing to his statement.
Senator Abbas, you're supposed to just read your statement. Yeah. Senator, just read what is on your statement. That is.
Madam Speaker.
Yeah.
What I've written is not what has been given to me. They have over-edited.
Yeah, but
this
for the
is actually exactly what my colleague is complaining about. My document is actually over-edited.
Senator,
I cannot explain myself, so I have to explain myself.
No. What I'm saying is that let us follow the rule and then we complain.
Yeah, honestly, you over-edited. There are only 2 lines here.
Senator, please just follow the ruling of the chair, please. Just read the statement.
Okay, madam. Okay. Can I have the mic, please? Okay. Madam Speaker, cases of unexplained abductions and enforcement disappearances have become increasingly frequent in this country, with civilians, activists, and even public officers being taken without trace. A recent case is that of Mr. Hussein Abdurrahman, who comes from Wajir, a senior civil servant who was the Deputy County Commissioner, who was last seen on 8th July 2025 during a public function attended by the Cabinet Secretary for Public Service in Wajir County. Since then, no credible information has been provided regarding the whereabouts of Hussein. In the statement, the committee should address the following: the prevalence and pattern of enforced disappearance across the country in the last 5 years, including regions affected, and progress on the investigation. 2, circumstances surrounding the disappearance of Mr. Hussein Abdurrahman Mohammed, including the steps taken to trace him and the support being offered to the family. Thank you, Madam Speaker. But this is over-detailed, so I don't want to say anything else.
Senator Chimera. Senator, yes, you have a second statement.
Sorry.
Please read that before Senator Chimera.
You have been confused, I think. Okay. Madam Speaker, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 531 to seek statements from the Standing Committee of Agriculture and Livestock and Fisheries on a matter of county-wide concerns regarding the continued neglect of small-scale farmers in Wajir County by the county government of Wajir. Madam Speaker, Wajir County is actually an arid area that depends on shallow wells and subsurface waters, and everything is being done through irrigation. The economy of Wajir County is largely dependent on agriculture and livestock. However, several small-scale farmers across the county have decried the lack of support from the county government of Wajir in addressing the lack of certified seeds, fertilizers, pesticides, farming tools, and irrigation systems, despite the fact that the county government had allocated a substantial amount of money to the sector through the Department of Agriculture in 2023-24, 24-25 financial years. The farmers have also expressed concerns of the county government failure to provide training and extension services to help enhance productivity. Madam Speaker, in the statement, the committee shall address how the county government of Wajir utilized the funds allocated to the agriculture sector in 2023-24, 24-25 financial years, including details on the specific agriculture support programs targeting small-scale farmers, that were undertaken or implemented by the county government in each ward in Wajir County. 2, whether the Department of Agriculture in Wajir County undertook a needs assessment before rolling out the programs and continually monitor and evaluate the programs during this implementation, and if so, obtain the relevant reports of the needs assessment, monitoring and evaluation exercises. 3, the number and names of beneficiaries of each of the agricultural support programs undertaken or implemented by the county government in the specific financial years in each ward, including the criteria used to identify and selecting the beneficiaries, particularly under the Food Systems Resilience Project, FSRP, the Kenya Agricultural Business Development Program, KABDB, and the Government of Kenya funded initiatives. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Senator Chimera.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. This is a request for a statement on human-wildlife conflicts in Kwale County. Madam Speaker, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53.1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Lands, Environment and Natural Resources on a matter of county-wide concern regarding increased cases of human-wildlife conflict in Kwale County. In the statement, the committee should address the following. Number 1, the measures currently being implemented by the Kenya Wildlife Service, KWS, to address the rising incidents of human-wildlife conflict in Kwale County, particularly in the areas of Chanzu, Majiachumvi, Mwangoloto, Kilimangodo, Kwanyanje, Pehoni, Makina, Shirango ya Juu, Bahakwenu, Mwangani, Busho, Kilibasi, Magale, Nyamaleni, Zoyagenu, Silaloni, and Chengoni villages, areas that have experienced frequent elephant attacks leading to property destruction, crop loss, injuries, and in some cases, fatalities. Number 2, Madam Speaker, the number and nature of elephant attacks recorded in these areas over the past 3 years, including details of the response mechanisms deployed by KWS during such incidents. Number 3, information on whether any victims of elephant attacks in these areas have been compensated, and if so, a breakdown of the compensation awarded, the number of claimants, the status of pending claims, and the timelines for addressing unresolved cases. Number 4, Madam Speaker, the plans in place to prevent further human-wildlife conflict in the affected regions, including but not limited to the construction of barriers, deployment of rapid response teams and community sensitization programs. And lastly, Madam Speaker, the long-term strategies in place by the Ministry of Tourism and Wildlife in collaboration with other relevant agencies to ensure the safety and livelihoods of communities living adjacent to wildlife habitats in Kwale County. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Senator Professor Tom Ojenda. And you may read the 4.
Yes, Madam Speaker, I have four statements this afternoon. Yes, Madam Speaker, yes, this is my house. Madam Speaker, the first statement is on the preparedness to support digital era publication. Madam Speaker, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53.1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Information, Communication and Technology on a matter of national concern regarding the government's preparedness to facilitate digital era public participation, particularly amongst the youth. Madam Speaker, recent developments in the country have highlighted the increasing use of digital platforms by young people to organize, express civic concerns, and demand accountability. This shift highlights the need to formally recognize online civic spaces for legitimate platforms for public participation. In the statement, the committee should address the following, Madam Speaker. 1, whether the government through the Ministry of ICT and State Department for Youth has developed or intends to establish a structured youth-led framework to promote digital public participation and civic engagement. 2, plans in place to modelize public participation frameworks by integrating digital tools such as mobile platforms, online consultation, and social media, and whether this can be supported by policy reforms. Lastly, Madam Speaker, measures put in place to ensure that digital civic participation is inclusive, secure, and can be effectively integrated into national policy and county-level public decision-making processes. My second statement, Madam Speaker, is on the regulation of digital lending platforms and consumer protection. Madam Speaker, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Finance and Budget on a matter of national concern regarding the regulation of digital lending platforms in Kenya and the protection of consumers from exploitative practices and data misuse. In the statement, the committee should address the following. 1, lenders operating in Kenya, including those licensed and unlicensed, and the measures in place for their licensing and oversight. 2, safeguards to protect consumers from excessive interest rates, cyber harassment, and unauthorized access or misuse of personal data. 3, measures taken to enforce the Data Protection Act against digital lenders found to be in breach of data protection and consumer rights. And lastly, interventions to strengthen consumer protection, promote ethical lending practices, and assure compliance by all digital lending platforms. Madam Speaker, my third statement is on the inclusion of the creative economy and innovation in development planning. Madam Speaker, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Trade, Industrialization and Tourism on a matter of national concern regarding the inclusion of the creative economy and innovation in Kenya's national and county development plans. In the statement, the committee should address the following. 1, the government's policy framework for supporting the creative and innovation sector, including funding, training, and market access. 2, whether the current medium-term plan, MTP, and county integrated development plans, CIDPs, provide for programs or budget lines dedicated to the creative economy. 3, strategies in place to support creative entrepreneurs, content creators, and innovation hubs across the country. And lastly, measures to integrate the creative sector into national development priorities, including legal policy and public-private initiatives. Madam Speaker, my last statement is on the implementation status of the Climate Change Act by county governments. Madam Speaker, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Land, Environment, and Natural Resources. Matthew used to chair that committee on a matter of national concern regarding the implementation status of the Climate Change Act.
Senator, read what has been cleared.
I withdraw, Madam Speaker. He was removed. It's okay. I will apologize. He is no longer the chair. Madam Speaker, the implementation of Climate Change Act 2016 as amended 2023. In the statement, the committee addressed the following, Madam Speaker. The number of counties that have complied with the Climate Change Act by enacting enabling county legislation, establishing the County Climate Change Fund, CCFs, and setting up functional county climate change units, CCUs. 2, the role played by the Ministry of Environment, Climate Change and Forestry and the National Treasury in facilitating implementation of the Act at county level, including provision of technical support in accessing climate change finances. Lastly, Madam Speaker, the measures put in place to strengthen county-level compliance with the Climate Change Act, integrate risk in their development plans, and climate resilience since the Act was enacted. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Senator Seki.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Request for a statement on discrepancies and irregularities in the funding of public schools in Kenya. Honorable Speaker, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee of Education on a matter of national concerns regarding the funding of Auditor General's Special Audit Report on capitation and infrastructure grants in schools across the country for the financial year 2020, 2021, 2021, 2022, 2022, 2023, and 2023, 2024, which uncovered discrepancies in the funding of public schools in Kenya and irregularities of disbursements of capitation funding. Honorable Speaker, the special audit report revealed, among others, a general understanding amounting to Kenya shillings 71 billion for the secondary schools, Kenya shillings 31 billion, for junior schools, GSS, Kenya shillings 14 billion, for primary schools, and 67 billion for secondary schools, special needs education, and that out of 83 sample schools,
14 received capitations totaling to Kenya shillings 16 billion with none evidence of their existence, while six others received capitation yet they had ceased operation. These revelations raised fundamental questions about transparency and accountability within the Ministry of Education and related agencies, and the integrity of their public finance management practices. In particular, the disbursements of funds to non-existent and non-operational schools at a time when schools are grappling with teachers' shortage, infrastructure deficits, congestions, and delays capitations is a betrayal of use of trust of Kenyans people. In the statement, the committee should address the following. The steps in the Ministry of Education is taking to address the underfunding of public schools in general and junior schools and in specific, in light of the significant operations and infrastructure demand at this initial implementation phase on the comprehensive-based curriculum. 2, the mechanisms in place for verifications of the existence of schools before inclusion in the National Examination Management Information System, NEMIS, database, and the circumstances under which the 14 schools identified in the specific audit has having received capitation funds without evidence on their existence were including in the database. 3, they identify of officials in the Ministry of Education and the National Treasury responsible for the irregularities, as well as the steps being taken to hold them accountable and to recover any lost funds. 4, last, whether the Ministry of Education intends to understand a comprehensive verifications exercise to ascertain the accuracy and integrity of the data in the NEMIS database to avert loss of funds, public funds, through further disbursements of capitation funds on non-existent and non-operational schools. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Senator Hezana.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And I have 2 statements, but I will begin with mine. And this is a request for a statement on influx of wholesale traders from other counties into Samburu County. Madam Speaker, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Trade, Industrialization and Tourism on a matter of county-wide concern regarding the influx of wholesale traders from other counties into Samburu County. Madam Speaker, local business owners in Maralal, Baragoi, Achas Post, Wamba, and Suguta Marmar, urban centers in Samburu County, have raised alarm over the influx of traders from outside the county who transport goods in lorries and engage in wholesale trade directly with consumers. These trading activities have disrupted the local market dynamics and threatened the survival of local small and medium-sized enterprises in Samburu County. In the statement, the committee should address the following. 1, the regulatory framework put in place by the county government of Samburu to govern entry into an operation within Samburu County by traders from other counties, including whether the traders are subjected to the same licensing fee and levies paid by the local traders. Secondly, the enforcement mechanism in place to ensure that the traders from other counties comply with Samburu County trade and market laws. Thirdly, the specific steps the county government is taking to protect local and small and medium-sized enterprises in Samburu County from unfair competition. Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I have a second statement by the Honorable Senator Catherine Muyeka Muma, who is you. And this is a request for a statement. And this is a request for a statement on the rise of this is a request for a statement on the rise of uncheckered inflammatory utterances by influential public figures and political leaders. Madam Speaker, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on National Cohesion, Equal Opportunity and Regional Integration on a matter of national concern regarding the rising trend of uncheckered inflammatory utterances by leaders, particularly along ethnic lines. These utterances are contrary to Article 33(2) of the Constitution and the National Cohesion and Integration Act of 2008. In the statement, the committee should address the following. 1, the measures being taken by the National Cohesion and Integration Commission, NCIC, to monitor, regulate, and deter the use of media platforms, both traditional and digital, in communicating messages that spread propaganda of war or conflicts, those which incite violence, those which amount to hate speech, or which advocate hatred that constitutes ethnic incitement, vilification of others, or incitement to cause harm, or hatred that is based on any ground of discrimination specified in Article 23(4) of the Constitution. Secondly, whether NCIC has recommended any policy changes that would facilitate the regulation of internet governance frameworks in Kenya to facilitate effective protection against the use of social media to spread propaganda of war or conflict, to incite violence, to spread hate speech or advocate hatred that constitutes ethnic incitement, to vilify others or incite others to cause harm contrary to Article 33(2) A, B, and C, and D of the Constitution on freedom of expression. Thirdly, whether there is collaboration between NCIC, the Communications Authority of Kenya, the Media Council of Kenya, the Kenya National Commission on Human Rights, the National Gender and Equality Commission, as well as the investigative arms such as the National Police Service, the Directorate of Criminal Investigations, and the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions in stemming this vice. Fourth, the steps NCIC and other bodies are taking to promote responsible communication and exercise the freedom of expression, especially by leaders, in preventing ethnic polarization. Senator Catherine Muma, dated 17th of July 2025. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Senator Mwaruma.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for this opportunity to request for a statement on the one-year contribution requirement by the Social Health Authority, SHA. Madam Speaker, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53(1) to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Health on a matter of nationwide concern regarding the requirement by the Social Health Authority that patients contribute for a full year before accessing medical care. Madam Speaker, Section 17(1) of the Social Health Insurance General Regulations 2024 provide that households whose income is not derived from salaried employment shall contribute annually to the Social Health Insurance Fund at a rate of 2.75% of the household income, as determined through the prescribed means testing instruments under Regulation 21. This regulation is causing widespread concern as many Kenyans, despite making contributions, are being denied access to healthcare services because they have not completed a full year of payments. This situation undermines the fundamental rights enshrined in Article 43(1)A and Article 43(2) of the Constitution of Kenya 2010, which guarantees every person the right to the highest attainable standard of health, including the right to health care services. In the statement, the committee should address the following. 1, the rationale behind denying medical services to patients who have not completed a full year of contributions, even in instances where the patient's contributions are up to date at the time of seeking treatment. 2, the government's position on this directive and the measures in place to address this matter. 3, whether personal data from the National Hospital Insurance Fund, NHIF, including contributor identity and contribution history, was successfully migrated to the SHA system. 4, whether the contributions made by N. Mkala Samba, ID number 67008002, and NHF number 05322375 on 21st February 2024, video check number 591049118, and receipted number BK 5830865, intended to cover her up to April 2027, are valid and usable under the SHA platform, and if not, provide a remedy to her and all other similar cases across the country. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
I don't see Senator Murango, so his statement will be deferred. Honorable Senators, I'll allow 15 minutes of comments on the statements, and I think, can we agree on 5 minutes for per speaker? Okay, 3 minutes per speaker. 3 minutes per speaker. Okay, Senator Sifuna.
Madam Speaker, allow me some latitude through Senator Kenyuri to pass my condolences to the family of the late Honorable Catherine Nyamato. As you know, Honorable Speaker, there is another great woman leader, Phoebe Asio, that we are also mourning through her son Caesar and the entire Asio family. I just want to say pole to the families and to tell them that they are in our prayers. Honorable Speaker, at the weekend I had the opportunity to meet some young women from the University of Nairobi under the auspices of the ODM Women League led by the President, Madam Beth Siengo, who is a member of this House. And I can tell you that even though Caesar, Phoebe Asio and Catherine Nyamato have left us, there is a great, bright future for women leadership in this country. I met some very young, brilliant women like Rosalind Alionya, Rachel Kavita, Mary Letitia, and Kimberly Grace. And I am sure you followed those proceedings when they were speaking to the press. Although the press was a bit unkind and was trying to harass them, I have no doubt that the leadership of women leadership has a very bright future. Honorable Speaker, allow me to comment on the statement on disappearances and then on checking of inflammatory utterances. Honorable Speaker, the reason we insist that we need to build a country that works for all of us is that no one is safe until everybody is safe. You have heard from Nandi, you have heard from Marsabit, the senator for there, also saying that senior civil servants are also being disappeared. And this is why we must resolve this question for all of us. Honorable Speaker, lastly, in 2007, I was one of those young people who were saying one term to Kibaki because we wanted him to go home. And we voted to take Kibaki home, Honorable Speaker. We were very shocked when we were told that our vote does not matter, that someone sitting somewhere can actually alter the results at the ballot. Honorable Speaker, there is very irresponsible talk from leaders telling us that in 2027, if the votes for William Ruto will not be sufficient, they will steal for him. And the NCIC has just kept quiet. With that history of 2007, Honorable Speaker, the precursor of the violence was in the interference with the will of the people. And I want to join those who are saying, Honorable Speaker, because we've been told to wait for a democratic opportunity to remove the current government. If we exercise that democratic right and then you go and mess it up the way they're threatening to do, this country will be on fire like it was in 2007. And we don't fear saying it. So, Honorable Speaker, if the NCIC, the IEBC that has just recently been sworn in, cannot even summon these leaders, because as I understand the law on election offenses, you cannot be saying that.
Senator Cheruyot.
Mr. Speaker, two quick comments. Number one is on this issue.
Madam Speaker, not Mr.
Apologies, Madam Speaker. I stand corrected. My apologies. Number one is on the statement by Senator Jones Mwaruma with regards to SHA. Madam Speaker, there's something untidy about how this provision for payment, either monthly or yearly, is being communicated particularly to the elderly people and those that live in the villages, Mr. Speaker. Over the weekend at a function, I was actually challenged by people who could not distinguish between what's the difference between monthly and yearly payment. Mr. Speaker, there is an assumption that everybody understands English and Kiswahili. That is not true. We live in a country, especially particularly those of us that represent rural counties, Madam Speaker, where we have the elderly who did not have the benefit of going to school, Madam Speaker. They too deserve access to that information. And therefore, I join myself in the comments by Senator Mwaruma that there needs to be clarity in that particular space. While me and you, who are salaried employees, Madam Speaker, will not face a challenge because this is deducted alongside our salaries, it's causing a lot of challenge to the ordinary citizens who have to pay either on a monthly, Madam Speaker, or yearly, and what provisions have been made. I know, for example, Madam Speaker, that SHA has actually provided even the opportunity that you can borrow funds, Madam Speaker, through Hustler Fund and end up paying for your monthly, your yearly contribution, so to speak. But that is not information that is available, Madam Speaker, to the people that I represent. And therefore, on that account, Mr. Speaker, I expect that the CEO will provide this information for citizens to be able to understand. Lastly, Madam Speaker, in the tabulation of how much each county government received in on-source revenue, I have seen governors from across the country include SHA contributions or compensation, rather, Madam Speaker, in the declaration. It will make more sense, Madam Speaker, if SHA gave us the information actually to know how much has it been compensated back to each county, so that we can tell our governors that when we passed this law, we included something called a facility improvement fund. That money cannot be used for anything else other than to develop the hospitals for which that fund has been collected, Madam Speaker. And therefore, it will be important that when that statement is responded to, we get a breakdown of the compensation that has gone to each of the 47 counties in the last 7 months that SHA has been operational. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Senator Nyamo.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I rise to contribute on the statement brought by Taita Taveta Senator Mwaruma on the contributions of SHA, having a requirement that the beneficiaries must contribute at least yearly to enable you access the services. Madam Speaker, SHA is a very bold step by President William Ruto, and a very necessary one in our country towards universal health care. However, Madam Speaker, this provision that the beneficiaries need to contribute at least the annual deductions so that you can be able to access the service is somewhat discriminatory. Because what happens to Mama Mboga, who falls ill a month into contribution? What happens to the boda boda if he gets an accident after contributing for 2 to 3 months? We are exposing the same people that we seek to protect in this universal health care provision, and exposing them to the worst case scenario, even death, Madam Speaker. I think we need to relook the implementation. We need to have a 3-tier or maybe some tier in the sense that you can contribute after 3 months, you can access, after 6 months, you can access, so that we don't beat the purpose. The purpose is very noble, to ensure that our citizens at the bottom of the pyramid get to access healthcare. for equally for all Kenyans, regardless of your background or of financial strength. So, Madam Speaker, I want to urge the Committee for Health to interrogate this system and bring clarity to ensure that we do not beat the purpose of the whole system. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Senator Osotsi.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I had walked out very briefly. I wanted to comment on the statement by Senator Ojenda on the matter of data misuse for digital lending firms. I think, Madam Speaker, that's a very important statement because we are all exposed to this danger on our phone, where some people in the process of borrowing digital loans, they use other people as references. And therefore, within a very short time, you see pop-up messages coming on your phone, maybe marketing messages or all kinds of messages which are targeting people. So I think it is an important thing that the Committee for ICT needs to look at, and also the institution responsible for matters of data protection can also look at that to safeguard the interest of Kenyans. And overall, Madam Speaker, I thought we also need to have proper regulations regulating these digital lending firms. They have really increased in number, and some of them are operating outside the banking regulation, outside the CBK regulation on matters of lending. So I think we need a proper framework, and that can also be handled by the Committee for Finance and Budget. Madam Speaker, I have also seen a statement by Senator Seki on the issue of funding of schools. Madam Speaker, it is so sad that many of our schools, especially secondary schools, are on the deathbed because of capitation challenges. Either the capitation money comes late, or that capitation money is not adequate to run the schools. I think something has to be done around the issue of funding of our schools. I was in one of the schools in my county where they cannot even afford lunch for students. The teachers are contributing so that they can cook lunch for the students. Mr. Speaker, when we get...
Senator Metu. Senator, 1 minute, and then we can move to Metu.
Madam Speaker, is a serious problem, and that problem is particularly common in day secondary schools in the villages, where parents cannot afford to pay exorbitant fees, and therefore they depend quite a lot on capitation from the government. So something has to be done around the issue of funding of schools. Madam Speaker, I support the two statements. Thank you very much.
Senator Metu.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
I'm not Mr. Speaker.
Sorry. I don't know why we are all confusing. But Madam Speaker, maybe it's because of the strength of your voice. Now, Madam Speaker, there are many statements that have been sought, and I want to comment on two of them. One that has been sought by Senator Mwaruma. And let me say this, Mr. Speaker. For those of us who oppose the current government, and those of us who are in the formation that I am in, we are said and we are seen to always oppose for the sake of it. But we all would want SHA to work, because we passed these laws. I was in Turkana. We passed these laws that put the SHA or the Social Health Authority into motion, Madam Speaker. And we must admit that when it is not working, something has to be done. It is not just about running in villages, in empowerments and saying SHA is working, SHA is not working. These are specific cases that have been raised in this specific statement. And I think the reason why this issue of SHA does not make sense to most of the members of parliament, and that's why they keep defending it, even when there are very glaring gaps in this SHA, Madam Speaker, is for the mere reason that most of us are, or rather, all of us are salaried. So our deductions are made just directly from our pay slips. And more importantly, we also have a very good medical cover. Because members of parliament have a very good medical cover, they don't care what the other Kenyans are feeling and how they are suffering, Honorable Speaker. Because it does not make sense that you have paid for SHA faithfully for 2, 4, 7 months, but if you have not paid for it annually, you cannot get this service, Madam Speaker. So now tell me, if you have to pay for 8 months and you are not able to get services on the 8th month, what happens about the other months that you have paid, Madam Speaker? So we shall continue speaking until this Social Health Authority works the way it is supposed to work. Maybe finally, and I would want your guidance, Madam Speaker, on how you process statements as it was sought by Senator Dhangwa. I am a bit uncomfortable with the statement that has been sought by Senator Hezenare Maretian. Madam Speaker, in this statement, the good senator is asking for protection of traders because traders have come to their county in Samburu. Madam Speaker, I do not think there is a law that would prohibit anybody from doing business anywhere. Because what has been sought in this statement, Madam Speaker, is that there is a large influx of traders from outside the county who are doing transport of goods and...
Senator Methu, in 30 seconds, finish, please.
In fact, Madam Speaker, you should give me 1 minute, because it is you who processed this particular statement, and this is a very defective statement. And Madam Speaker,
proceed. You're
we
using
must
your
speak about inclusivity. We cannot speak about inclusivity when we want to exclude some people from doing some business from some place. If you are to argue the same way, Senator from Nairobi will say that business people are doing business in Nairobi. Then it will be very difficult for me to set up a business in Kericho. It will be very difficult for a Kenyan to go and do business in Vihiga. We must allow free movement of goods and services. We must allow free trading between communities across board, Honorable Speaker. And I also find it very ridiculous that in one of the asks of the statement is the enforcement.
What's your point of order, Senator Cheruyot?
Madam Speaker, apologies to interrupt my neighbor, but I just wanted to request him to cut that part of the clip of what he has spoken in his lucid moment here in the House, where he speaks about inclusivity, and send it, Madam Speaker, to his party leader currently in the US, who has told us that only one community does business.
Senator Cheruyot, you are out of order. Senator Cheruyot, that is, Senator Methu, ignore that and finish with your 15 seconds.
You know, my former cousin, Madam Speaker, is a bit uncomfortable with with the new friends that I've got in the likes of Senator Sifuna, the new cousin now. But I just wanted to say, Madam Speaker, we cannot, the ask that has been asked on the enforcement mechanism to ensure that traders from other counties comply with the county trade and market laws. Madam Speaker, the enforcement is by the county, because the laws are by the county. What else is the committee or the Senate expected to do in terms of enforcement? If these people have paid the levies that are required, if they have paid the fees that are required to go and do business in Samburu, nobody can stop and nobody should stop. When we speak about integration...
Senator Omtata.